It's a beautiful thing.
The best. Oh, yeah.
Welcome, everybody. I'll do the intro. I was waiting for Ryan, but I think Ryan heard me talking over. So went with, I'm Eric Rude. Welcome to the Lemons iRacing League. It is a Sunday night. We are in the middle of the No Pedal, No Wheel Invitational. There will be more people rolling in. Got a long way to go till the race starts. Thank you so much for being here. Joining me as always, our producer, Ryan Bauer. How are you doing tonight, Ryan?
I'm doing pretty good, Eric. Thanks, man. We're in Charlotte where it's hot and Swamp Ass Alert is in effect.
Yeah, this is like in your actual backyard, is it not?
Yeah, about 30 miles from here.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. What number race is this today for you, Ryan?
This is number 4.
Number 4. Well, thank you so much for being here. It means so much.
You.
Everything looks awesome. Also joining us, Cameron Aubernon in the car and in the booth. How you doing this evening?
I am doing well. I am about 2.5 to 3 hours away from this place, depending on traffic. But today, I'm doing all right. Just weaving my Lilybell Air Skippy through the Legends Revel and the No Pedal, No Wheel Extravaganza.
Excellent. And Randy Bish, our man in Pittsburgh. How are you doing?
I can't complain. If we're comparing how close we are to the venue tonight, I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know.
Yeah.
You're probably about like 5 to 8 hours, maybe?
Probably 8.
Yeah, it seems par.
Yeah. And that serene voice you just heard is Bill Fisher and his wife, Vicky Fisher, joining us also. They are from the Garage Heroes in Training podcast, Lemons Racers. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing really good.
Doing well. We're not sweating, so we're very happy.
That is excellent. We got a lot to talk about. We got a long evening. No pedal, no wheel here with a long warm up into the race in a half hour, and then we have a whole bunch of Mustangs piled into one oval race. Should be pretty entertaining. But as always, you can expect us to not really pay that much attention to what's going on the virtual racetrack and talk about other things that are, or perhaps are not important. Yeah, if you've been here before, you know how this goes. And it looks like Phineas or Ferb on Jason Grafton's car there is pretty great.
That is spectacular.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that is
much better than the driving, but
yeah. Well, as we mentioned, this is the No Pedal, No Wheel setup. So people using all kinds of bizarre setups. Tom Pyrek, I believe, using a trackball mouse. There are usually Xbox controllers, PlayStation controllers, things of that nature. Anything but a traditional wheel and pedal setup. So
That's right.
it's a good time.
Time for the whole family.
Now,
So,
Bill and
usually-
Vicky, you guys have done iRacing, have you not? You've done iRacing with us.
we have.
Yes.
Right? We have.
Yeah. And
We just look like we have no pedal, no wheel when we do it. It's
Yeah, I don't think I can do that.
It's a really weird thing to go from having driven a real race car to driving on iRacing. Like the missing feedback has always troubled me, I guess.
We just need to find a setting that takes the Mazda MX-5 and takes it off of ice mode. Then we'll be fine. Because otherwise, I think it's ridiculous. But whatever.
Fair. Well, as we came in, we were talking about Miles Davis's cheeks, but we'll maybe revisit that later on. Our French hornist is not here, nor is our former saxophone player who controlled their iRacing vehicles using wind instruments, which is, kind of the groundbreaking stupidity you can expect from Lemons in general. And to that end, Vicky and Bill, tell us a little bit about how you came to be Lemons Racers and about your first handful of races, because I remember seeing you guys pretty early on with a profoundly bad car.
Oh yeah, that was. But I'm gonna let you lead into that.
Well, we got to a point in our lives where our kids were old enough where we could actually have some fun on our own, and we were looking around for things to do. And we've always been car people, and Vicky liked Top Gear and other things, so we went to a BMW event where for some reason they invited us to go do a fake autocross thing, and we thought that was a great idea. And then I started looking for other places to do it, and we live sort of near Monticello, and that price tag is not reasonable.
Right.
So we saw, it was a combination of two things. We saw one TV show, Everyday Driver. They did an episode on lemons, and we also found the Everyone Racers podcast, and started talking to those guys, and she bought that it was $500, and
Well, I think you actually showed us, I think, a video. I think we had the videos were out
it
at
was the
that
TV
point,
show.
so we watched it, and I was like, "Yeah, $500." It lies, lies.
It's just a start.
Yeah. I mean, the $500 thing is pointed mostly at just making sure that nobody's bringing totally over-the-top shop-built race cars. That's pretty much the blunt weapon that we wield. And as long as people are having a good time, we don't usually get too uptight over the.
Yeah.
And
Well-
and if you have the opportunity to have the family CFO be on the race team, highly
Right.
recommended.
Yeah. We showed up and we had a wonderful experience. Our car ran pretty much the entire time. We're like, this is easy.
Yeah.
Let's do this again. And Jennifer had shown up to support us, my sister, and she was like, hey, you know, that's really kind of interesting. Like, you want to? She goes, yeah. So that's two. And after that, all the cars started breaking, and you know.
Yeah.
But it was an awesome, and we just kind of walked around. We're like, I think we found our tribe, and
That
we've
wasn't
been
the word you used.
found our idiots. Sorry. Yeah, I think we found our idiots. So, and then I think we've just been enjoying it ever since. I mean, we live for it.
Yeah.
I mean-
so tell me about that first car, because I bet I can dig up a photo of it before too long.
So
what year was that?
It was 2018 New Jersey.
Okay. Go on.
So we decided we were going to do it, and you know, before we talked to everybody from Everyone Racers podcast and the Street Pedal Mafia, I said the only place I can find a $500 car or anything close to $500, but without knowing, you kind of think that, the rules are like enforced in some way. I found a former Circle Track car, so that was a debacle. And then we found a former Lemons car that the Prompt Critical team, they are from South Jersey, which is about 3 hours from here. They were looking to sell one or the other of their two cars and try to get into a different car. So I went down there, and if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing, and we bought both of them. And the one was a 1974 Capri, which is the one that, if Eric finds a picture of, we took to our first race, and they had a great time with that. And since it was so easy at our first race and everything went so well, we decided, let's bring two cars to our second race, because how hard can it be? And that was a 1984, 1 year only. They had a GT Turbo Mustang.
Ooh.
1 year only, which makes parts. Yep, that's our car, and that's my beautiful bride and I, as she's Captain America, obviously. And I'm just trying to squeeze myself into a Thor costume.
Yep. It ends up being Avengers Assemble. There's my son in the red and his friend who is the Hulk,
Yep. And our
Cassian, and our daughter right there.
Yeah. So we made it a family affair, and we had so much fun. We can't wait to do more, and see, the car ran the whole time.
It did. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun to drive. Of course, I drove it like a Sunday driver, and I was all chill. Had my hands just constantly sitting on the stick shift, like.
Her
It
hands
was-
are at the 12 position and stick shift position, because
Oh, yeah.
cruise to pick up the chicks, So
I look back on it. I was horrified looking at myself driving from what I am now to what I was then, and I'm like, this is terrible. I see all the errors that I was making. It was so bad, but
you
and
did stay in the middle of the track though, so that was
yeah, it was good. Yeah, all of our cars started breaking, and but we were at this point just kind of committed, and just like we so much to learn. Built to us into HPDEs right away, and so we mix racing with a lot of learning in the HPDEs, and And when we start our podcast, it actually is more like a documentary of everything you shouldn't do in the very beginning of our learning process. And everything we learned was pretty awesome.
Yeah, we can save you money if you to do what we didn't do. That would be the best way. So.
That makes some amount of sense. I mean, Lemons is kind of a grand arena into which people just get thrown, and the only way you really learn is by doing everything wrong, and then you kind of figure it out. You figure out that being in the penalty box is time consuming, and you don't pay a bunch of money to go racing to end up in penalty and be strapped to the roof of the car. People usually only learn that once, and they either decide, well, it's fun besides that, so we'll just stop getting in trouble, or they don't come back. And either one of those is a net win for us.
Self-selection.
Well, I believe that when what's amazing about Lemons, and it just resonates, and people when they start getting into it and they look at it from the outside going, oh, it's like a fiasco, it's crazy, and it's insane. And we've brought in other drivers that have known about it, and they've seen the organized, it's organized chaos when you're in it, but when you're looking at it, it's not. And what I tell them is probably one of the safest race events you will ever attend. I mean, Lemons is so very thorough in their safety checks and their safety gear and how the cars are put together that even when we go to other events, sometimes we're really kind of amazed that of what's lacking in that area, that the checks aren't there. But that's something that I really, really appreciate about Lemons, and that, getting in behind the wheel. I mean, getting in a crash and have some kind of injury is not something that is impossible, but it doesn't happen very often in Lemons.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. And I think one of the advantages always from Lemons is that the people who run it, Jay and Nick, myself later on, Jeff Glenn Jeff Glenn was the only one who had an actual racing background at the beginning. And, Jay had done some like token club racing, and Nick had done none. And the less you are mired in racing culture, probably the better your perspective actually is on how a racing event should be run. And you realize that you really have to plan everything around the lowest common denominator. You have to plan the race around what you expect the dumbest person is going to be.
Bish is right here, and he can.
I was just thinking, Randy.
Oh, Randy.
I serve an important role.
Yeah, that's right.
You're the benchmark, sir. Well
you
done.
are the guinea pig.
I stress test safety.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You're the stress test for Lemons, really. The League of Legitimate Nigerian Businessmen in general is kind of the litmus test. But I mean, that's kind of the idea, though, is, most people will recognize that we are kind of treating everybody with kid gloves and in the right way, you can't assume people know things, just because you will very quickly discover that they really don't know things, and that they can get themselves in a lot of trouble that way. So now, all that said, as you pointed out, Vicky, your first race, you're kind of tootling along with one hand on the wheel and one on the shifter, just kind of driving. And I think you probably recognize you weren't anywhere near your or the car's limits, and that is how most first-timers drive. It's the first time people generally aren't a problem, because they're pretty risk-averse and don't. It takes you a long time to figure out even remotely where a car's limits are, let alone your own. And most people aren't of the type that are just going to go straight into it, so straight into finding limits. So yeah, it's the people who've done it like 2 or 3 times that suddenly think they know everything that are the big problem.
It's the white belts, man.
Yeah, exactly.
The
Yeah.
path from Lemons to Ferrari is what, 3 steps?
Yeah, totally. Oh, F's in chat for Tom and Ron there.
Yeah. Well, it
5
depends
cars
on
on the track, and they found each other.
Yeah. It depends on which Formula One scouts are in which set of the grandstands. That really matters.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that has become kind of the rallying call for the drivers' meetings to remind everybody that, Toyota's Le Mans team is not here scouting this weekend. So you don't need to try to impress anybody with your driving.
And we don't.
Nope.
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing about race car driving in general. Excuse me. Is that you're kind of in it. Everybody's on their own program, especially in endurance racing. You're there to kind of do whatever it is you want to get out of it. And, you're not really racing other people per se until you're kind of very experienced and in it. You're mostly racing against yourself and a strategy and a clock. And that's kind of it. And if it's not for everybody, but I think for the people who get it and realizes it's kind of I hate the term self-actualization, but it is kind of that, it's you figuring out what you need to get out of it and doing that.
But you know what? And notes on that, it's the awareness that is something that you have to do, is to race the track and whatever times that you're doing your strategy. When people are out there, the beginners that get out there, my son, I'm using as an example, who feels that he has to race a car or a person, which is not the case. And that's something that has to be stressed when you go into racing in Lemons. It's not about finding a person and this is your target, because that person could be years on the track, or whatever, but you're racing a track. You're not racing people. And that's one thing that we bring in when we bring in people, because that's one thing our team likes to do, is we like to bring new people to the event. And we're not there to win. If we win, it's a bonus, but we like to introduce new people, say, hey, we found this really cool thing. You're interested in driving. Hey, come on, we'll let you drive our car. Yeah. We brought a lot of people in, and some people are actually staying. So that's good.
That is good. Is the first one free?
Usually.
Are you doing the pusher thing?
Usually. It's easier that way. They say yes a lot more when you don't charge them. So yeah, it's fun. I mean, you got to look at it. The number of people you pass for position is probably 90% or more. They're not on the track.
Right.
You rarely pass anybody for position on the track.
And if you are, nobody's aware of it either way. Neither you nor the other guy. So you're just kind of, that's what I've always found enjoyable about endurance racing from Le Mans down to Lemons, is that you have a plan, and your job is to stick to the plan and play the long game.
So, this all works for like the first level of racing, but once you ascend into the upper echelons, you start to play games with yourself. So you sit down on Sunday around noon, you figure, okay, my team's out there, they've got 6.5 gallons of fuel, motors holding together. The team above them, they're coming in, they had a late night, so they might be off pace. And you're doing all this math like, I think this is our race. We can pull off 69th overall.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, Randy, you've been at our pre-race meetings on the morning, and you've heard it. I mean, we tell all our drivers as we go to our team meeting, we say, listen, if we wanted to win this race, we would have a different car and different drivers. So don't be dumb.
No.
It's a beautiful line, and I mean, we've stolen the line because frankly, it's really good.
Yeah, I'm scribbling notes for the the general driver meeting.
Our goal
You
literally.
would not be here now. We would
That's
have
right.
Denny Hamlin and Lewis Hamilton.
If we wanted to put an Old Country Buffet out of business, we would have called you guys.
We have a certain set of skills, and they don't apply for the entire race weekend. So
Yeah, our motto on our team really is like, if we could finish 50% of whatever it is, like overall, then that's a win for us. And the better we are in class, if we're even above 50%, that's a win for us. Because we're still learning. Honestly, we all came into this with no skills whatsoever. So, and
No
we're still
skills,
working
no
on
tool,
those.
no car, no garage.
The garage,
Nothing.
you know, nothing, zero.
And now we know Bish. I mean, look how our lives improved.
My
right, no, Randy.
condolences.
I know.
Yeah.
Thinking about this. Poor life choices.
And if we can bring the car home in one piece, even if it's broken, then that's pretty good.
I mean, this 50% is our stretch goal. It's really just finish,
Yeah.
Question in the comments from Load One, by the way. What is the best racing game soundtrack? That's got to be Gran Turismo 2, right?
Or, personally,
I'm gonna have to say that the answer is actually quite different and quite obvious. It's Daytona.
Oh.
Ah, classic. Yeah.
yeah. If we're going way back in, yeah. Okay, I can deal with that.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a race game. I personally like Yakety Sack.
Oh yeah. So Yakety Sax works for all Lemons things. Yeah.
All lemon.
Yeah. Ridge Racer. Great answer, Ryan.
So
was
I was thinking,
That was the first racing video game I played. It's Ridge Racer for PlayStation.
yeah, that was way back. So I was thinking, is there any like, how we've got certain, white whales that we want for Lemons races, and we have certain white whales that we want for rallies. Do we have any white whales for no wheels, no pedals?
Yeah, we do. It's a board with nails and wires. I think that was actually one of Phil's suggestions. Am I remembering that right, Randy?
Yep, just a 2x4 with some nails and some bare wire.
Yeah. So one of the one of the nails is I don't know how it would work, but basically a board with nails in it, and you strip the end of the wires and touch the leads for left, right, brake, and acceleration, and yeah.
And there was also discussion about doing it with a rotary phone.
Oh, I missed that. I don't remember that, but that is fantastic.
Oh, the rotary phone night was a wonderful night.
Oh man.
Bonus points for a Fisher Price version, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't actually matter because you're not dialing a phone. So
Exactly.
either way,
Oh, what's that?
what is Nate playing with? Do we know?
I don't
It
know.
looked like it was Nate's car that was wobbling back and forth.
I'm quite
My
impressed
skateboard
with
wheel wobble.
I'm quite impressed with the Coca-Cola car. I want to know what he's using because he's going around this track quite nicely.
We have a video of Ron, whatever he's doing. He's the one with the bender eyes on his.
Yeah, on his
there we go.
VR.
Oh, okay.
I think he might be using keyboard with arrow buttons, but I'm not sure. Oh man, I just noticed the Schlitz sign in the back. That is A+. That is the kind of crap I used to steal from
that's
bars when I was
fantastic.
22. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking if we could get somebody to use a Dance Dance Revolution floor pad.
Oh man, I've heard that.
I
many
would
times.
die.
I know. I didn't
think it's-
specifically call you out, but I was.
It's been discussed, but I don't think anybody's actually done that. Ryan might remember, but I
think it
I
needs
sure
to
as hell
happen.
don't.
Needs to happen.
Stunt Granny was the one that was going to do it, but I can't remember what the holdup was.
Yeah. Stunt Granny having problems with his operating system, so
That's fun.
Oh,
turns out
yeah.
it's not the mouse. Yeah,
Oh boy.
as you do.
Couple cones out.
I see a comment. Definitely Mario Kart. I can agree with Mario Kart.
Mario Kart, yeah. And the Rainbow Road,
Yes.
that was epic soundtrack work. Daytona, we had a Volvo 240 that raced in Sonoma. I think it only raced once, but it was painted up like the the red and white car from Daytona. I forgot what it was supposed to be called, but man, it was a really good replica.
I always thought it was just a Daytona. But
Yeah, and I totally spaced on the theme at the time, so I totally missed how awesome it was. Let me see if I can find a picture of that. Talk amongst yourselves.
Anyone in the chat know the car that was in the Daytona? What it was actually supposed to be? Anyone? Bueller?
Bueller.
Oh. We'll put it out there.
Meanwhile, I'll shout out to my chat. Hi, Denny. How you doing? It's not Denny Hamlin, by the way. It's just one of my own followers.
The chances were low, but not zero.
Yeah.
Fair. That's fair. Let's see. Might have been.
Oh,
trying
Ron
to
just
remember
went
things.
way off.
Oh, look, he lost everything.
F's in chat for Stunt
there we
Granny
go.
there.
That's going to need more than wax.
No, look, he just put it all
Not
back.
with that
It bounced
attitude.
all right back on.
Oh,
Yeah, I believe that we are damage-free.
That's
damn
fine,
it,
yeah.
No pedal
Yeah,
races, just
pristine
because
damage.
they're so difficult to control in general anyway. So
Yeah, let's not make it worse. I'm doing well, Denny, by the way.
This damage free makes me look back to our Deadpool car that did not self-regenerate in real world. I was very unhappy about that.
yeah,
Did you give it long enough? I just let my stuff sit in a lot for like 5 years, and sometimes it's fixed.
Yeah, it went from Mr. Pool to Mr. Poo in about 3/4 of the race.
Well, you'll have that in these bigger jobs.
I cannot find the Daytona car. I'm sorry. Alas, it was our biggest. It's our biggest tweet that has ever happened. Was the guys tweeted it out, and I retweeted it, and it blew up.
Look at that.
I found it. There it is.
Yay!
Is it
All
coming
right,
up?
It'll be in the. I'll let Brian grab that. Anyway, any whoozleby. Eric Hesser, veteran Lemons racer, actual Lemons race winner some years ago. I love that he's got Tommy Boy and B. Arthur on the car.
Yes.
That's a winning combination. And
Nepto. Oh, look at this.
yep. Well, I like the Hesser Brothers logo. That needs to end up on their actual Lemons car.
Yep.
Do you make a
Very
to-do
nice.
list from our commentary? Because I mean, these things need to be acted upon.
No, I never make a to-do list out of any of this. This is
Action
all
items have to be given. You don't just race for free in this series. We give you work after this.
That's right. And the Hessers are due for a retheme on their BMW. It's just orange now and has been for like 4 years.
Oh, that is fantastic.
It is.
Yeah, look at that.
Can we do a side-by-side of the model and the execution of the model?
I think it was the Hornet. Was that the name of the car?
I believe so.
Yeah.
HR wants to see the differences between the two pictures. They're the same picture.
Just one of them has a back-to-back Road Wrangler Cup title.
That is true. The Hessers are one of 2 or 3 teams with a pair of Road Mangler Cup victories.
I still need to see someone win the Road Mangler Cup on Geolanders.
There's nothing stopping you, Randy, from doing that.
All right, get out your wagon. Get out your wagon that takes blood from your hand every time you reach into its grill.
You're gonna have to, be a little more specific. That's every wagon.
Oh. the Chevy or the Redmaster.
2
yeah.
Subarus. Yeah, there's the Hesser's boring orange BMW there. It still looks like that.
I think we are going to officially have to pronounce that theme as name.
Yeah. Yep.
They do add to it. I remember the one, the first or second race back from COVID. I remember being out on track, coming up behind them, and just seeing. It was like something like "Don't bish me" in the one corner, and I about died.
Yeah, they do have yeah, it might be on the roof or it might be on the door. It says 2X Lemons iRacing Roller Derby Champs. So they bring the virtual into the real world, but I think they need to go full out on the Lemons meat spit.
I mean,
That's-
if
Is that a
Yeah.
Ticonderoga pencil that Nate Schlavine is there? I appreciate that. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
it looks like a
Oh,
number
that's
6
nice.
as well.
But he
That's
didn't
not
take the number 2. I'm a little sad.
I mean, there is technically a number 6 pencil.
There is.
Ah.
Yeah. I don't know.
God, you learn something every time on this show.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Like writing with shards of glass, but it does exist. So, Eric, if the Hessers don't update their theme, we have a lease program for our very large cookie that we can mount to the top of the car.
Is it a very affordable lease? What are the
Oh, yes,
terms?
very affordable.
That's-
You tell
that's
us
what
you
you have
want
for
it at a
Rotterdam.
race, and we ship it to that race for you, and then you can put it on any car you like.
It's grid time, baby.
I am taking notes on that.
Oh,
Cookie leasing. Got it.
Exactly. And
It's,
let me tell you,
it's the Lend-Lease program, like to the T.
Lend, lease.
When do I get a battleship? That's the real question.
Yeah.
you tell us what you want. We
With
will
the
take.
dazzle camo on it too.
Yeah. All right, we're just about to get started here. 7 cars in the no pedal, no wheel. I think most of them are,
Formula V's.
yeah, Formula V's, and also with everybody is. That's so good.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Wiggle Wiggle. Mostly Xbox and PlayStation controllers. I think Jason Grafton and Tom Pyrak both with mice.
Nice.
Mises.
And
Mises.
Mises.
Pieces.
That's right.
That's right.
When they hit the wall, it goes to pieces. Come on, work with me.
Yeah. Beat him up, Reese's Puffs.
And here we go. And 3 of the cars left the grid.
Apparently, the green
Here
one
we
is
go.
using the Dance Dance Revolution keypad and doesn't feel like running.
Okay, if the cannabis car just
it
sits
is.
on
It
the
is-
start line the
it is
entire
100
time.
Yep. No, it
Immediately
is that.
Oh, murder. Hi, how are you doing? Oh, there we go. Ah,
Oh, so good. Wait, what? What
Oh,
is this?
oh,
What
oh,
happened?
oh.
Starting a
Is
race.
the cannabis car still sitting there? Or is he moving?
I think it moved, but it's probably only going about 4 miles an hour.
But it feels like 90.
If I remember being 18 again.
Why is the track purple? Dude,
Why is the stream just
no,
he's
I
just sitting
killed
there.
He's
somebody.
gone. He's gone.
Why is the stream playing Steely Dan all of a sudden?
Reeling in the years, so way the time.
Am I the only one on here old enough to think that the Doobie Brothers were like, it had nothing to do with that? Because I was that young when they came out.
No, I agree.
Oh no. Oh.
If the Doobie Brothers were smoking weed, their music wouldn't have been so lame. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
just
thought
saying.
I
They
thought it
could have
had to do
been
with
the
Doobie Doobie.
Almond Brothers instead of the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah, Allman Brothers definitely high as a kite, and their
Oh,
music
yeah.
rules. So,
I think no matter what stance we take, we're getting some angry boomer mail from this one, boys.
well, as soon as
We
they
can
figure
do
out
this
how to
all
log
day.
into their AOL email
Yeah.
again, then yes.
Well, whatever angry boomer mail they send, it's not gonna top that one email.
Eliminate
man.
all
God.
traces of our connection.
Yes. It'll never top that email.
There it is. I knew Ryan had it queued up at all time.
Oh, Jay Becker manually tapped out.
This was the genesis of the F sticks, which became Jeff Gordon's fish
Or-
sticks somehow.
Yeah. Well, it's Dick Trickle, F Sticks, and Jeff Gordon Fish Sticks was me in chat, noticing y'all were talking about number 24 at one time. I just made shouts to Jeff Gordon's Fisherman. Instant classic lemons in joke.
I'm glad you have a good memory because mine is complete trash, I guess, as it turns out.
Oh no.
I think I just saw an AOL CD fly by our house. I think they're coming for us.
If you can hear the sound of, I don't know, Lopey small block Chevys and a runaround Sue in the background, yeah, they're on their way.
A winga dinga, winga dinga, winga dinga, winga dinga. Gonna go murder everyone in the booth tonight.
And or Harley Davidsons. So
No, Harley people can't read.
Oh.
I said what I said, damn it.
Yes, you did. Because my dad rides a Harley trike these days.
Oof, the trike. That's
My
that's rough.
condolences.
2 in front or 2 in back?
It's a 2 in the back. Well, see, my dad went through cancer twice in 4 years, like coral.
So he can do whatever he
stuff.
wants.
Yeah, he can do whatever.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
He gets free ride, you know?
It's okay. Yeah. Before that, he had a 2-wheel road glide. So.
I don't get Harleys. I mean, I kind of get them, but I don't really get them.
Yeah, I get motorcycles, which is why I don't ever drive one, because I like it a lot.
You would or wouldn't?
I would,
Yeah.
and I would kill myself, so I don't.
Let's see.
I have a hankering a little bit for like the 1970s small Japanese
Oh,
motorcycles.
yeah.
Like the CBR 350, or I think that's right. The
Oh, I thought you meant the small ones, like the little ones.
No, not like the Super Cub. Although I would totally buy a Super Cub if they weren't ridiculously overpriced right now.
Yeah.
I believe.
But that's about the speed at which I think I could trust myself. A top speed of like 45. F's in chat for Tom Pyrek there.
I think we have an unofficial sponsor being proposed here for the Lemons iRacing.
Oh yeah, Sandals Birmingham, always a classic. So
Oh, yes.
make sure that you put in offer code Do It For Dale and get a free 2-day rental of your uncle's 1987, I think it was,
Yeah, look at
iRock. That isn't quite done, but damn, it's gonna make 800 horsepower when he
That's
is.
right.
So close. So
And-
Yep.
close.
And
Use
don't
offer
for-
code Jump a Coke Can for your complimentary summer catalog.
Yeah. And don't forget to pick up a pack of Mouchlan's newest beer on the hit list. The SummerSlam Summer Shandy. It'll punch the heat deep in the balls.
You're right in the sack, I think is the phrase.
Right, the sack. Well, skip the
Same
sack, goes
effort.
straight to the balls.
Yeah, that's
Same
right.
effort, yeah. And while we're giving out useless discount codes, if you just call anyone when given the G-Hit discount code, you will save $0.
That's right.
That's right.
And if you go to gamersubs.com, enter code BRI, B-R-I, you get 10% off your first order of Gamersubs. That is actually a real code, so go check that out.
Just to prove that these aren't worthless codes, GHIT is going to be a new promo code on Only Lambs.
Oh, that's right, Only Lambs.
Well, before we go way off the deep end,
Before?
let's talk about
Before.
GHIT.
Before.
Before?
So at the top of the show, I mentioned Garage Heroes and Training, which is your podcast. How did you guys decide that you needed to do a podcast? And then maybe before that, you can even tell us where we can find Garage Heroes and Training.
You can find it at any of the places where podcasts are given. It could be Apple, if you're an Apple podcast person. It could be Google. It could be Stitcher. It could be anywhere. We are giving, and we charge the same low price of $0 as our podcast, $0. So you get your money's worth every time. That's how we do that. How did we start? Why did we start the podcast? Well, one, we started it after completing 2 races, because obviously we were experts in the field, so we wanted to share our wisdom. Basically, everyone racers is 4 members of the 3-pedal mafia, and national champions, 10-year plus experience, mechanical talent, and driving skill. So we figured we would be the 101 podcast, and they are lovingly called the 201 podcast because they had forgotten much more than we even hoped to ever know. Right. So we wanted to kind of be an introductory, like breakdown jargon. What do you mean by a wrench? What is a wrench? Things like that, and cover it from 0 to the level where they come in. And we thought that would be helpful for people like us, because I think we were reading the rules in one of the series. It wasn't Lemons, but it was like, and just put in a cage like you normally would. And I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. Let me just go build my normal cage, because
Yeah.
And just the jargon alone and
Right.
mapping on how to get from zero to started. And it became really challenging in that aspect. So starting the podcast, we kind of figured that, well, let's just break this down. And it just became like, not so much now, because now we're just, sharing information and interviewing people and stuff like that. But in the much earlier podcast, it was, we learned this. This is what happened to us at this race. And we'd always walk away on the podcast, what went right, what went wrong, and what could we do better, and then what did we learn, and then break all that down. And then it just, the idiocies, the stuff that we got involved with, and we would just be very frank about what happened to us on those weekends and those events, and don't do this, or we picked up this really great skill, let's teach you what we learned. And one of them was just the basics, setting up a paddock, because you don't think about that when you go. So we started sharing that stuff, and it just ended up in the very early on, it just became more like a documentary of what we went through.
Well, that's such a crucial thing, and it's almost something. I'm glad you guys are doing that, because it's something that's really hard to explain, and it's something that we don't really, as people who run these events, it's so hard for us to explain for people how to do it, that it's almost like it's better if we don't say anything and you just kind of figure it out, or you lean on the resources, which is a thing we started doing recently, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But the rookie mistakes I've seen over the years of like not bringing a table to eat food on, like things that you would think would be really basic, but when you're talking about a race and you're sitting in a garage getting ready for it, and you're thinking about, well, I guess that's the sidebar is that you've been building this car, you haven't actually ever thought of what the weekend's going to be like, other than I'm going to be in a race car, and you haven't thought about well, crap, how do I eat lunch at a race? Which isn't something that you would think is a skill, but it kind of is. Is this somebody on the team making sure we are at the driver's meeting, or is getting the car through tech, or knows when we're supposed to go through tech? Those kinds of things that aren't obvious and aren't things that people think about while they're preparing for a race. And then, it's so valuable that you guys are having those conversations. And sharing those experiences, and letting people know that these are things that you have to think about. It's not just about driving a car and fixing a car. It's about living for a weekend with a bunch of people who are a team, and that's really hard to explain to people, just as a sanctioning body such as it is.
Well, bouncing off of that, we actually on our podcast put out, I think it was like a 6-part series on just the very 6 or 10, I forget, but there's a whole segment is just like, so you want a race car, and it just broke down everything from like, okay, here's how you set up your paddock, here's some of the very basic things for starting out. You have to have these basic things in your paddock for tools, what you can get away with, what you can't get away with, what you can borrow with. And then I think the other one was organization skills and buying a race car versus setting up a race car. What should be better? We had big discussions on that also. Right. And just these very, very basic things to start, which we didn't know. And we thought that was really valuable to share.
I mean, nobody really knows it naturally.
No. The people who do are freaks, and I can tell you almost categorically, no first-time racers. Maybe some people who've done other series or whatever show up and they kind of have a clue. But if you're coming in completely cold, it's usually A, really obvious to us at the track, and B, they don't even know what they don't know, in a kind of charming, but also kind of alarming way. You know, you're like, all right, you guys need to make sure you're drinking water and eating. You know, but you can't mom everybody, which, you know, being from the Midwest, I'm inclined to do. So,
yeah, I think one of the things we try to do is we try to either get people to race with us if they're, you know, interested, or we try and take, you know, and chaperone's the wrong word, but, you know, kind of guide teams on their first race or so, and just so they're not out there by themselves, and, you know, they realize, you know, there's help, and they have, you know, somebody to call, or somebody to come by, or somebody to help them figure out how to solve a problem. So we try to do that as best we can, because the first race is really key to, you know, if you can enjoy your first race, you're hooked forever, and if you first race sucks, then, you know, it's kind of a bad taste. So, and the first race is by far the hardest one.
it is. No, that's 100% true. And to that point, before there's about a minute left in this race, but before we get away from that, we have started recently, we've kind of got a pilot program going that we're calling Lemons Therapists, but it's really a mentoring program. And we've kind of highlighted, we've picked out teams that we know have done this a lot, that, you know, I'm talking 20, 30 times, and offered, one of the things when you sign up, you're a rookie first time, you get a few extra emails that nobody else gets. And one of them offers to have us as the Lemon staff connect you with a veteran team who will, you know, if not shepherd you through a weekend, well, your first weekend, will help you, you know, answer a couple of crucial questions, you know, like how do I camp, or how do I go through tech, or when do I need to do this thing, or, you know, how much do I need to worry about that. So that is a thing we've started as a pilot program, and we're hoping it becomes pretty widespread as we get teams that we trust and rookies who need help. And it looks like Eric Hesser going to win the first race of the week of the evening, by the way.
Yeah.
Yay! Congratulations.
Well
oh, wait a minute. Oh, there you go.
Yep, and into the crash fest, cars getting dumped everywhere. Well done, Cameron, coming in second. We failed to pick a number 1 through 7 for
That's
the
okay.
I'll take
the
none.
actual winner, but I'm just going to say that Jay Becker with the cannabis car that didn't leave the start line, obviously the winner for the night.
Not all heroes wear capes.
That's right. Anyway, if you guys have questions about the mentor program or want to be involved in it as veteran Lemons racers, email me and I can add you guys to the list.
Do we really need to email you?
Yeah, germane to you guys and or anybody who's listening who's done this a bunch. So lots of good people on it, like Jeff Averill from Zero Energy, Corey Dickman out on the West Coast, Mike Krenzer in the Midwest, Bad Decisions Racing, Ranwood Park Racing. Good people. And people who've done this enough that they can answer a lot of in-depth questions people might have. So, yeah. But all that said, I love having a lot of resources I can point people to. So I'm going to go, and this week I'm making myself homework, and I actually wrote this down, that I'm going to listen to your 6-part how to do the basics. And
It's 12 parts.
12 parts.
Is it this? Yeah.
Yep, it starts around the episode 171, and there's a couple interruptions, but it's about 12 parts.
Excellent.
And you just got an email from us. Not that I'm double doing things, but
It's fine. I do have a game we can play in the middle of this next race, but it is an 80-minute race, so we'll dust that one off.
80-minute race.
Yeah, it's our 80-minute main event.
Holy cow!
Woohoo.
This is like effort and work and concentration and.
Yeah.
Why is this fun?
Yeah. Where you can, it's like Lemons in that, you know, if there's 20 minutes where you want to go and you're Jason Grafton and your bottle's empty, you can go grab another one. You can park for 20 minutes. Nobody's gonna crawl up your help me out with a noun. Anybody?
Cat 5 cable.
Yep. Nobody's gonna crawl up your
There you
Cat
go.
5 cable and tell you otherwise. So. You can try as hard or as not hard as you like.
I think Mr. Becker could pull a twofer if he sits on the start-finish line for the entire race again. That would be quite nice.
Oh man, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
that's
chaos,
dedication.
yeah. All right, time to switch from Xbox to wheel and pedal. I have returned to the wheel and pedal game for the first time since February 2021. Thanks
Well,
to
there you go.
Yeah, thanks to Everything Bagel of Late Night Lemons, Chris Ray. He hooked me up with this old Logitech G27 wheel and pedal set.
I love Chris Ray. He is such an awesome dude.
He is.
He has I believe it is the first JDM imported car coming to Lemons this year. And he paid however many yen $500 is for it at an auction, plus shipping fees, which technically count toward the $500 limit, but the car is so awesome, we do not care. I will not spoil his surprise. But if you go look at King Henry V8 on Facebook, I believe he has posted pictures of it. It
So
is.
They got it from Christiansberger. I guess he did get it from Japan.
We interrupt this coverage of the race that's not racing right now to wish, I believe it's Brian's father-in-law, some love because he was hurt last Friday.
Oh no.
And
Good
we
catch.
want to make sure we are all praying for him and hope that everything goes well.
Indeed. I believe Brian's one of our dedicated viewers and also a regular Lemons car spotting poster from Ontario. So,
Yep.
wishing the best for your father-in-law, Brian.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. Time to plug everything in.
And anything else we need to talk about that doesn't relate to racing, we are more than willing to. So, yeah.
Yeah. Feel free to shout topics in the comments section. This next race, by the way, called the Beating a Dead Horse 500, which is all of the Mustangs that
All
are
the Mustangs.
available in iRacing. Please don't ask me what they are. I don't know. But I know one of them's the FR 500S. One
Yep.
of them is the NASCAR Mustang, and that is it. One of them's the V8 Supercar.
Yep. V8
and
Supercar. So I
there's
get
two
so,
more.
so V8 Supercar, the FRS 500, FR 500S, and then for NASCAR we have the Xfinity Mustang, Xfinity Series Mustang, and then we have the Gen 6 Mustang, which I'm racing, and then the next gen, the current gen Mustang. So I think that is all 6. I think there might be a legacy one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
F's in chat for the wrists of Tom Pyrak and Stunt Granny, by the way, who both just raced with Mies. I believe we decided was the
Mises.
plural form.
Mises.
Yep,
I saw
Mises.
return.
Yes. CFC, a bunch of binary.
We're going to call
CFC.
him Fred.
Fred says, are right-hand drives, so right-hand drive cars are allowed in Lemons. How many have raced in Lemons? Technically, by the rules, it's mass-produced cars built in the United States. So if you're bringing a right-hand car that is imported, you should email us about it just to get a official thumbs up.
You could do an engine swap and drive
Yes.
the car in reverse, and then it
Oh,
would be a
man.
left-hand drive car.
How many have we had? I know we've had at least 3. One of them was an MG Metro that Mike Harrell had imported from England. Had imported a long time ago. We've had maybe a right-hand drive Mini, I think. We'll talk about Minis in a little bit. One of them
We have to.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. One of them was a Datsun 280ZX with a Mustang 5-liter and a supercharger that was converted for right-hand drive just to make it look like a Mad Max Interceptor. It was the only reason they did it. They went totally overboard. Absolutely awesome. I don't know where that car is now, but that one was one of them. And the other one I know of is a Subaru Legacy that had been a mail carrier's car with right-hand drive on a rural route. That one's still around and is totally badass, and I love that car. James McHenry says Grumman LLV. If you intend to bring an LLV that you have gotten through whatever means, buying, begging, or stealing, borrowing, words are hard. Anyway, if you get your hands on if you get your hands on an LLV, please email us because they are not designed to go above about 50 miles an hour. So you will need a pretty solid plan if you're going to bring one of those.
What's not designed to go 50?
An LLV, Grumman LLV.
Ah, the mail truck.
Apparently, any car that Randy Bush drives. Oh.
Hey, that's not fair. My friends have very fast tow vehicles.
All right, there we go. Get my driving gloves on. All right.
Excellent.
And hey, since I escaped that little adventure, the Saab has only had flawless terror. It's been great.
We have a request for the Harvey Korman car.
Oh yeah, it was a
right-hand
Jaguar.
You pronounce it funny.
Jaguar. Jaguar motor car.
There you go. We also would have accepted Jaguar.
Jaguar. Yeah.
Jag.
Isn't there a Beetle somewhere that has left and right-hand drive?
Oh,
with different
yeah.
size drivers. Is that like half a car then?
Oh yeah, man, I forgot about that thing. That is Ferdinand Geschäft, blah blah. Built by the famous Philip von Weidershausen, who has raced a bitter SC also in Lemons. But the Volkswagen, they put in dual controls, and it's basically like it's designed in the same way as like you're flying a Cessna 182, like they're just linked. I believe that they disconnected and or removed the right hand set of controls, but they had a driver who was considerably shorter than everybody else, and so they
had a big boy seat on the right hand side.
Yeah, so they had 2 sets of seats, 2 sets of belts, 2 sets of controls, and the best piece of video ever from that car was they were driving it like on the test day, so they had a driver in each seat. And the driver on the left hand was just like, hey, you want to take over? And just like took his hands off the wheel, and then the other person grabbed the wheel and started driving. It's just spectacular. And Caden Bright has a Saturn setup on this thing, if I'm seeing this right.
Looks like it.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing.
With the Fox Detroit 2 logo on the side.
Oh, just the best. Yeah, July 23rd, as we posted on social media yesterday, International Saturn Day, to commemorate the day that Andy Diderossi took us to GM headquarters in Detroit and protested them to bring back Saturn. What do we want? Plastic cars.
More plastic, please.
When do we want them?
Now.
Yes,
Back Saturn. Yeah. And that was one of the greatest things that's ever happened on the Lemons Rally. This year, Andy gave a tour before the rally, the night before the rally. And we went to the GM Zero factory, which is where they're making the Hummer now, the EV Hummer. And we held a candlelight vigil for all of the dead brands that had been built there, and for Roger himself. Didn't attract any attention, but you'll see it in the social media. It's pretty great. So I commemorated the Pontiac Bonnevilles and Cadillac Allantes that had been finished at the former GM Hamtramck factory that is now Factory Zero. Bill and Vicky, pick a number between 1 and, I don't know, let's say 25, assuming 23. We get 20. 23. All right.
Hopefully
we have
for
23
Bubba Wallace.
cars. 22. We have 22 at the moment. So we'll see what we get in the next 12 minutes. You have picked, by the way, should explain, the unofficial winner of the, or I'm sorry, the official winner is the one that we pick at random.
Okay. So go away. Go the other way. Apologies to chat that my model's bouncing around. I am adjusting my... Oh, actually, I should move that up a bit. There we go. All right. Ugh. Move my
Ooh,
Oh, there's a
camera.
Celine
I've just had a no pedal, no wheel concept.
Do you go on?
You're allowed to use your pedal and wheel. However, you have to use your pedal and wheel, including you have to rig up some strange little bit of code to let you control your cursor with your wheel and pedals. And you have to start from the start menu in Windows. You have to launch iRacing with your pedal and wheels to race.
Wow. That is
That sounds terrible.
that's no pedal, no wheelception. I think that's what that is. You have just made the most meta combination possible there, I think.
Gonna have to spin a top in the corner again.
If something this convoluted succeeds, I'm allowed to return to my home planet.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like K-Pax, but without the felony conviction.
Randy, I hate to tell you,
that goes on a pin.
they said there's
Yeah.
insufficient postage for that return.
Yeah, that one had layers. You're welcome. That's what you get.
Oh, beautiful.
3 drinks
Like an
into the
ogre.
night. So yeah. All right, so yeah, bunch of Mustangs with fuel stops. Apparently, some of them are not set up to turn left at all. I have seen Andrew Pullman's next car that should be at Autobahn, and it looks incredible.
Oh, it's a little Sebastian reference.
That's some deep internet, isn't it?
Here we go. I'm on the track now.
It's definitely not top layer. It's in there a little.
It's Parks and Rec.
Thank you. I had to Google it. Yeah, I have not watched super deep into Parks and Rec, mostly because my wife was a civil servant long enough that it gives her flashbacks.
Whoa! Damn, that Mustang fly in front of pit lane here. All right, there you go.
Is that? Oh, please.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Does car say vasectomy?
Section.
Oh,
It is the well. Mark Martin with the 6 car was famous for having a Viagra sponsorship.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so good.
Oh my God! Well done, Stunt Granny. You have won the livery game yet again.
He was
Very
able to
nice.
keep up his speed, though. You know.
F's in chat for everybody with the Class A Mustangs with a fixed setup that won't turn left on an oval.
No,
That's
no.
so good.
Oh, sorry, everyone.
Yeah, the next gen cars were, for me anyway, wheel and pedal or controller were just very hard to control, period. Like, I would always hit the wall with them, so Gen 6 for me. Got the Cooters Mustang, by the way.
Now, I haven't read up because I, can't read. But
Work
is
hard.
it the same as the previous races, where the faster the Mustang, the less fuel it gets?
I think that's right. Also, I'm glad you own a Harley. Because you can't read. It's fine.
Oh, yeah.
It's a callback. Yeah, it just wasn't a good one. Yeah.
You're throwing in callbacks to people with a 45-second attention span. It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Let's see if it pays off.
I believe you're expanding on your capabilities there significantly, Mr. Bish.
I round to the closest 45 seconds.
Oh man, that is tchotchkes. Yeah, needs more flair.
That
All right, that's all right.
That's a quality reference right there. Well done, Brian Scribner. Can we go through the field? Yeah, there we are.
I think we have to.
On the liveries, because the livery game's pretty solid here. Cooters, well done, Cameron.
Thank you. And thank Cooters, the VTuber Lewd Art Collective, for letting me run their paint tonight.
Listen, if you're gonna do
inspired
sponsorships,
by-
you gotta call it out.
Yeah.
A little southern
Inspired
drawl.
by Alan Kowicki's Underbird, the Hooters Underbird.
Ron's usually right on it. Let's see. Sunday bloody cars and coffee. Well done. Mako, we hate the evidence. That and CrowdStrike. That is several layers of quality there.
Hey, I recognize that album cover.
Oh, it's sponsored. Too. Look at that. Our
That album cover is also the greatest shirt that I own now.
You're going to need to provide us where we can purchase those for Lemon's HQ employees.
Oh, absolutely.
Everyone Racers podcast on there. Very nicely done.
Everybody needs a GHIT one now.
They
Oh,
do.
look at that, Dr.
They're
J.
wonderful. Look at that.
Well, please explain for the crowd, because this has happened since the last iRacing broadcast, Randy.
It has. So the weekend after the last iRacing event was Gingerman, and for this theme, we were sitting down after having a bowl or two of Michigan's finest vitamins, and went, "What if we did the rap video, but like the Lemons rap video?" So that led to us throwing some money around on Fiverr for 15-year-olds in third world countries to make rap songs for us. And we put out an album, and it's a Lemons-based hip-hop album, and some of them are so bad that they're good, and then some of them are really good.
Yeah, diss tracks of other teams in the region. That's a quality livery right there as well.
Also fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the
phone number, though.
yeah. Oh yeah, the phone number has to be like your local, somebody spoofing a local phone number.
I had one guy called me from my own number. I'm like,
That's kind of impressive.
A for effort, dude.
Yep. Ed Smith, one of the various freaks in this, who is really good at iRacing and races Toyota Camry in Meat Space Lemons. Was that New Jersey actually last year with the opera singer? Speaking of dropping albums,
I will say
Solid
overall the
music.
theming is fantastic.
it's really good. I mean, it's the one thing. Oh yeah, F's in chat for EJ Bird there. It's the thing that sets us apart from other, I suppose, iRacing leagues, right?
Amongst others, yes, that's one of them.
That's one way of putting it.
Well, I mean, the other thing, and it's worth pointing out, Nate Schlavine does all of the actual race programming for this, and comes up and has come up with some really ingenious ideas. The roller derby format is probably the greatest thing that we have ever contributed to iRacing. As far as I know, nobody's ever picked up on it elsewhere.
Nope.
So unique to Lemons, the two-car team, shared livery, roller derby style iRacing. Which we would totally do in Meat Space if it didn't result inevitably in, 14 dozen maimed human beings.
I keep saying it, once holodeck technology gets there, Lemons is going to be popping off.
That's right. Is that Denver Broncos themed?
Oh, hey, that's almost football time again.
Brian's saying he doesn't get.
But it's one of the
warranty
Hessers,
calls.
so there must be an inside joke. Oh, Broncos, Mustangs. I get it.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Uh,
Horsies.
all kinds of horses.
My Little Pony. Yep, I got you.
Yeah.
My little pony, my little pony.
Fred Schechter wants you to drop the Lemons hip hop album link in the comments if you can, Randy. Fred Schechter, by the way, should point out, one of the guys who helped us launch the Lemons iRacing League many, 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
So props to Fred for tuning in. Thanks for being here, Fred. And I hope it's still entertaining after 2.5 years. I think we've finally figured out, where Lemon's niche is in the iRacing world. It took us probably, 3 or 4 months to figure out the whole actual racing and actual competition thing. Totally overrated.
I heard it was on his objective of his resume, but that's just a rumor.
Yeah, totally.
So Brian does not get the extended warranty calls. Brian, if you just put your phone number in the chat, we'll make sure we take care of that.
Beep, bop, bop, bop.
Yeah, as pointed out, Brian is in Ontario, though, so I don't know if Canadian numbers are treated differently. I don't know. It's an odd thing. Brian, have you ever owned a weird General Motors Canada only product, like the Pontiac version of the Chevy Corsica, which I think was the Tempest. Have you ever owned any of those? Please chime in. Caden Bright sideways, by the way, with a crab in the background.
Nice crab.
Needs a little Old Bay. But
Yeah. Old Bay
He's-
seasoning.
He's holding his own on this track.
Yeah,
without those
impressive.
gloves, he'd be in last place.
that's right. It's all about the gloves. It's like it's all about the shoes, or chicks dig the long ball. Well, you're probably better off having never owned a Tempest, Brian. But it is remarkable to me that things like that existed.
We had a Tempest, but it was not the Canadian Tempest. It was the
Right.
older one.
It was the 70s or 60s one.
Yeah. Yeah. Next time we check in with him, I want to see the Michael Jackson strategy. I want one glove only, please.
Ooh. The Saturn
Saturn.
logo, by the way, makes it, Caden. Super into that. As a former and very proud Saturn owner myself, good to see.
Got the Trojan car.
Yeah.
Hey, Trojan, vasectomy, cooters. We got all the sex
Oh,
up
well.
in here.
I mean, yeah, there's so much sex happening.
Sax, yeah.
Just to
Oh man! By the way, what the hell is that car on the infield by the corner station? Anybody else spot that?
There's something funky going on there.
Yeah, I love the generic car in the iRacing paddock. It's one of my favorite things.
Plenty
Oh,
of good.
there's an Enzite theme somewhere. Is that on? I don't know. Whatever. How many cars do we have? Do we have
We
23?
do have 23.
Perfect.
Kyle
Look at
B
it.
is the last one currently.
Asuna, yes, thank you, Brian. I was trying to think of the super weird GM brand. You are my savior for that. Thank you.
wow.
Too weird to live.
Deep cuts there.
That is the deep cut. The Dodge Monaco, also in the late 80s. Great Canadian deep cut.
We got a John Deere out there.
That's right.
Probably.
Your next gen.
Probably will be trimming some grass, knowing our driving capabilities.
Oh yeah, especially with me back on the wheel and pedal.
And Tchotchkes is real good too. Yeah. All this camera work. Awesome work, Ryan. Thank you so much for being here and making everything look amazing.
I believe in order for these cars to get into this position, they would have at least had to turn right one time.
One time. That's right.
What is a right turn but 3 lefts?
Sure.
Of course, the FR 500 and the Aussie pony. They turn right and left all the time.
Cooters. We got Cooter. Oh, E1R. Oh, look, they even had the E1.
I
Nice.
didn't know
Yeah,
even our
that's me.
sponsored this many cars.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Their sponsorship
So-
dollars must be huge.
So if Garage Heroes is the 100 level and UNR is the 200 level,
Yeah.
is a 400 level show just a bottle of scotch and Dale trying to explain what 1967 was?
Ooh.
I would subscribe to that podcast so fast.
Oh, I wouldn't a heartbeat.
Oh, look at
Oh, there's some
these.
great look. By the
Look
way,
at
great look at
these.
the paddock vehicles here, which are
Apparently.
almost. They're the almost Accord. The almost Accord.
Alex Levinson camped out on the blue line there.
There he is.
Hey Jim, what kind of digital assets did you make for us this week? I make tent. It's just a triangle.
That one to the left looks like a DeLorean with a Camry. You know, across the two.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
DeLorean,
it definitely does. It's because they didn't bother to render it in any kind of effort, so they just were like, eh.
Oh, that's just
Oh, the comedic scaling of the SUVs is also wonderful.
I love it. Well,
Oh,
they're
I like
also
the
in
block.
a box. Yeah, like they didn't even trim around it.
Oh,
That's the best part.
Ow,
It's a 3-block car.
ow.
Yeah,
They're
Yeah, no, they
partially
definitely-
containers.
yeah, they're still in the container. It's like reading an ad at the bottom of a 1993
Oh, we got
car
porta
driver.
potties.
Yep.
They got
Right.
porta
Also-
potties.
Also not cut out.
I
Yeah.
have to let the car. Come on, number one. Come on by.
Any
Thank
Thompson
you.
racers who have friends who work at a vinyl shop, if we could get these made for the paddock garages when we pull them down and have them look like these SUVs,
Oh, that's
bonus points.
the,
Bounces all over the place, man. Look at this
the
guy
almost
sneaking around.
Mustang says turbo on the bumper, on the rear bumper, by the way.
That front tire is a little flat.
All right, here we go. Boogity boogie. Let's go racing, everybody.
It's like the race is
Oh,
about to start.
Oh, the one render
shit.
Oh, here we
SUV.
go. Oh, it's already
Didn't even make it to
started.
the start.
Everybody is munched, and
Yeah, and I have
Ed
to
Smith survived the
pull
first 13
into the
seconds.
black flag, so I'm going to be on the inside.
Do we have any pot-themed cars that had not started?
Yeah.
I didn't see Jay Becker's name in the lineup, so
He takes his sponsorship responsibilities very seriously.
that's right. Oh, there's Jay. Well, he got started this time.
He's
so that's good.
moving. I've never seen this before.
With the sweet tarts.
Sweet Tarts, I think.
Sweet
I
something.
think he may have changed the name, but I think it's Sweet something.
Sweet farts.
Could be.
That sounds quality for
Probable.
lemons. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
probable.
Ooh,
Sweet.
Nope.
No.
it's just
sweet
sweet
tarts. Kept it easy.
We've got a
Have you ever-
suggestion for
by the
him
way-
next time.
Have you ever tried to eat sweet tarts as an adult?
Yeah?
Wake up and choose violence with sweet tarts.
That's exactly it. You're like, this makes me angry for some reason. I don't know why. It's just too much.
Pure sugar.
Yeah. It's pure sugar with like a heavy shot of 9
Wow.
nails.
9-inch nails.
Nice.
Very nice. Who is that?
That's Ed Smith and Christian Bishop with matching liveries and lapping the field on lap 2, by the way.
9-inch nails.
You know, what
Go
Very
my
nice.
heroes.
you know what our code name is for these cars?
What's that?
3 Randy Bishes.
Awkward silence. It's also known as 6 SCCA racers.
It didn't say anything in that about Werther's Originals. Were we looking at the same car?
It's no fair
Yeah,
to pass
these guys
people
are
if they're
doubling
drafting
up.
each other.
Yeah,
All right.
they're too good. Freaks.
Okay. We need the bulldozer car out there, and we have 2 gentlemen who need some attention.
Oh, Brian Davidson, you're going to need to elaborate on the GM brand called Passport, because that sounds like the most GM thing that could have ever existed.
Was that their app? Because I remember there was a while where GM had their own GM exclusive kind of Toro app where you could rent GM vehicles by the hour. And I lived in Michigan at the time. Like, oh wow, this is Detroit. It'll definitely work here. It didn't work there.
No?
Oh.
Oh, it was terrible. It was so awful.
Somebody wrote about it. The headline that I just read on consumerguide.com was Canadian confusion, GM's short-lived passport dealerships. That's amazing. Yeah.
We have like almost racing here. We should talk about something else now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kevin
almost
Moeb's always with the anime
Yeah, the
livery.
waifu. The waifu
Yeah,
cars.
the waifu, yeah.
Dave Carpenter's here. He was silly enough to let me drive his car the last race.
Oh, hey, Uncle Dave. Yay.
What a fool.
Oh, you drove the
The Cheaties car.
Cressida?
I did.
How was it?
It was awesome. I realized going into the chicane on turn 3 that there was no anti-lock brakes and trimmed some of the chicane, shall we say. It was lovely. It's actually a great car to drive. Thank you, Dave. Oh, wait, we've got Passport Detail, Passport Optima.
Oh, somebody might be taking on the Trojan boys. Is that little
Really-
sweet tart coming up?
Really need to rephrase that. really need to rephrase that, sweetie.
Yeah, probably should. Or maybe I won't.
Yeah. Somebody's trying to take the Trojan boys from behind. Whoa.
Oh,
Sorry.
no. Oh, my.
Oh, there are headlights that can flash. That's amazing.
Oh, is it supercar or the Mustang?
It's the supercar with the
Okay.
lights.
Are they pop-ups or are they just lights?
I
Lights.
think they're actual lights.
Pop up and down headlights. Pop up and down headlights. Pop up and down headlights. Shout out to Donut Media.
Oh, sounds like that's coming out on your album there, Randy. We've got a beginnings of a song here.
Nope, that one already exists.
Yeah, that does exist actually. Yeah, Donut Media recorded
Does it?
it.
Oh,
Time ago.
okay.
Yep.
All right, very well.
Oh,
Look at these guys. They even
I'm
get
reading.
gas.
I'm reading about the Passport brand because it's too weird for me
Oh,
to.
look
not
at these guys flashing their headlights.
They get gas together. Come on, people.
I see the Magnum and Trojan boys went out there, gave it their best 45 seconds, and are already taking a break.
They couldn't handle the Cooters car, I'll tell you that much.
There's
Gotta
the
stop ribbing
Passport
them.
Optima, by the way.
Oh man.
Oh, we need a view from three-quarter.
Can you,
rear.
Ryan? Can you zoom in just a little bit so that we can show the bullet points? There you go. Designed by world-renowned Opel. Boy, that's something to hang your hat on.
Hey, guys, let's shoehorn in here the second worst thing to happen to Germany.
Yeah, oh.
Wow. Okay.
Brutal. Yeah. Oh
It's
man.
fully reclining front seats. Oh, front
Yeah.
bucket seats. Excuse me. Fully.
Well, that's useful for the Trojan boys. You know, you get a
Let's
little.
face it. If you're
Yeah.
driving that car, you don't need a fully reclining front bucket seat.
Well, I mean that comes back to the famous internet video of I think it was College Humor, where like there were like a couple of women like checking out guys like driving cars, and the guy with the BMW, they're like, nah, and the guy with the crappy Geo Metro, they're like, oh yeah, because you know when you got nothing to compensate for, you know.
Oh god, 2 laps left to fuel. Damn.
Anyway.
We do not have a lot of fuel in these cars.
Wait.
There we go. Also,
wait,
the
on that
Isuzu
last
Trooper sold as a Passport.
On the last one, I think they had 7 bullet points, and the owner to get 7. The last one was daytime running lights.
Daytime running lights, which I initially read as Daytona running lights, and I thought that it was some kind of special thing. It's even sadder now. Yeah.
So are we just going to glance over the cargo area measured in liters for some
Liters.
godforsaken
Right?
reason?
That's right.
It's Canada, dude.
How many times was the cadet badge engineered? Holy crap, says the speedster. Infinity.
So you've got
Guys, we're
7
getting
things.
close to Stellantis black hole territory in this discussion. We
I
got to
mean-
be careful.
Yeah, Canadian GM is Stellantis territory. That's 100% true.
Oh,
You
the
got-
boys are out.
You've got
Yep.
7 things to say about a car, and the 7th in the list that you can come up with to complement this car is daytime running lights.
Yeah.
There's nothing else making the top 7 above that. That's a sad car.
Well, you don't want to brag about the horsepower because it has none, and you don't want to
True.
talk about fuel economy because it's not that good with a 4-speed manual. Daytime running lights. That's it.
Was number 8 like it has square holes in the grill? I mean, you know.
Yeah, it was an egg crate grill, just like a Monte Carlo SS. So,
Just like it.
And you know that John Davis at Motor Week is still going to commend it for its 27-second quarter mile.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of the car. I was watching one of a classic Motor Week, and John Davis just absolutely dumped on something, and I can't remember
Oh,
what
was
it
it the
was.
Cimarron?
No, I want to say it was a Mitsubishi product. It might have been the Expo LRV, but I'm not sure.
Oh,
Lemon steam.
and Jared Duclos' car.
Looking good. Is that a Lemons iRacing
wheel.
livery?
Love
It
the wheel.
sure looks like it.
Oh yeah, there's one out
Brownie
there.
points.
The Mystery Machine colors are really working for this.
It is, yeah. The yellow wheels kind of sell it for me.
Yeah, if I remember that, Jeff McConey at McConey's Speed Shop invited us to go play with the Next Gens last year, and a few of us did, and a few of us represented the Lemons crew. So that's what's up
Excellent.
with that car. Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, wait, Timothy explains that the daytime running lights give 42 horsepower increase, so that's why it was,
Yeah, that brings the Passport Optima up to a solid
43.
49. Yeah.
All right, gotta be careful around here. Got some NASCARs up in here now.
We do have 22, so you guys all have to pick a different number.
Yeah.
22.
Miss Vicky, your choice.
Oh shit!
There goes Cameron. That Cameron
Number
thing.
1 to 22, Miss Vicky, pick a number.
1 to 22. Pick a number. 12.
12. Perfect.
Oh no!
Oh, Cooters got cooted.
Quote of the night right there. Well done, Vicky. Cooters got cooted.
Wow, absolutely fantastic.
Yep, I can't top that. We'll just let that one resonate for a minute.
All right.
What is on the left rear quarter? Looks like a tweet.
Got a little reflection there. Okay.
You cannot
We've lost resolution there.
convince me this isn't hilarious and
Completely worth
Completely worth the hedge fund going out of business.
3-digit car number, always nice.
Yeah.
I lost the game.
Yeah, I mean, a stonks theme is long overdue.
Potato heads.
I've
I would have paid money for number 4 to be
I like
Jay.
that is
Oh
a
hey, there's a
great,
Twitter car. Yeah.
yeah, that is a great theme for Meat Space. Yep.
What does the front say?
Melvin
The
Capital.
bumper. No, the bumper.
Oh.
Short squeeze.
Can't pass them on the front. 5 laps
Very
of
nice.
Okay, we got.
Very nice.
Well
Gen 6
done.
people got
The Twitter car. Uh-oh.
Tom Pyrek, always
there
on
we
point.
go. All right.
That car looks
well.
way too nice to race in lemons.
Speaking,
It's like
speaking
shiny.
of numbers, did we pick the number that since we only have 22 cars?
Yeah, 12.
12.
12's your winner.
Okay. 12 is our winner. All right.
Phil McCann is running in
Mustang.
12th right now.
An appropriate Mustang theme, by the way, there. That was nice. Crowd killer.
Yeah.
Crowd killer.
There's a number of Mustang jokes here, and you know what? I never get tired of them.
You know,
That's the thing.
Have Brian Daw just said, "What's the Simpsons scene on the trunk of the?"
I
the
think
car
that's
we just
the.
bought?
I think it was the
Code?
stop. He's already dead on Tom Pyrek's car. About GME stock, but I might be wrong.
I thought that was code for something we didn't want to get into, but that's fine too.
I'm trying to figure out what a code
Yep.
Canyonero would be.
Yep. Wall Street beating Reddit.
The monkey fight. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not this stop. He's already dead, but yes, the monkey fight.
Reddit and Wall Street.
I'm just waiting for somebody to come up with a good NFTs theme. I mean, that one is out there waiting for someone.
That would be the first good thing about NFTs, but
I mean, people have convinced themselves that a JPEG of a monkey is worth tens of thousands of dollars. How is this not a Lemons theme already?
I know. I have thought about making NFTs just to gank those bros of their cash. I could use them more than they do.
Yeah, I don't even know how you begin that parcel of economy, but
Yeah.
it's rife for lemons. I will say
It
that.
is.
I mean, it'd be so easy to do now that there's the little, AIs that can draw it based on your
yeah.
description.
That's right. Yeah.
J-Lam as Monkey Sailor Man.
There you go.
Yeah, 2 minutes later, your theme's done.
Yep.
All right, time for me to pit in
Step
again.
forward. Profit.
Lemon party money. I mean, what could go wrong?
Exactly.
Ah,
I gotta
just
start
wait for the
writing
New
this down.
Jersey
This is
wrap up to
good.
come out.
Uh-oh, somebody's losing it?
That was a good save, actually, by
I
the yellow
know.
car back
Oh,
there.
no, maybe not.
Almost.
Wait, still in? Nope, maybe not. Yes? No? Yep.
Ron seems to only have foot to floor or not.
No, he's out.
But,
Run!
yeah, F's in chat for Ron Harrington there.
13.2 second stop lap. Yeah. Good stop.
Should we do the game? We should do the game.
Let's do
Oh,
the game.
absolutely.
All right.
Time to play the game.
All right. So we got Bill. I gotta finish building the scoreboard. Randy.
Building
There we go.
scoreboard.
All right. So one of my favorite podcasts that I listen to periodically.
We're right here. You don't have to talk about us. Thank you.
There, no, yeah. Sorry. My favorite non-car podcast. They play a game on every episode, and one of them, my favorite one they ever played, was called Can It Swim? And he just said an animal, and you had to guess, can it swim?
Okay.
Okay.
This is not the game.
Yes.
This is not the game.
Oh,
The
it's not
game
the
is
Aw.
I was going to
the
say.
game is Can It Lemons?
Okay.
So you need to. There's two factors in this: weight and or wheelbase. So maximum weight for lemons, 4,200 pounds. Minimum wheelbase, 83 inches. That's all you need to know. I will say a car, and you will tell me, can it lemons? All right, simple
Okay.
enough.
Okay.
All right, we'll start fairly simple with a 1996 Cadillac Fleetwood.
It's
Let's start-
96.
Yep. Let's start with
Okay.
Randy. Randy seems like a good starting point.
Oh, so it's the Fleetwood's definitely going to meet the wheelbase. Hey, initial D time.
About 2x on the wheelbase, I would estimate.
Now wait, I believe it's technically over, but there has been a B-body wagon. So does it matter if it's easily grandfathered in?
Just yes or no.
I'm making this real complex. I'm going to go with
Yes, you
yes.
All right. Bill,
I am going with yes, sir.
Vicky,
I'm going with no.
You know why she
Cameron?
went with no? Because Bill went with yes.
Cameron's busy. We'll call it
no.
okay.
I'll say no. No, it will
All right.
not.
All right. It is 4,461 pounds. It cannot lemons without a waiver. So, point for Vicky, point for Cameron.
Yay!
All right. 1996 Caprice sedan. We'll start with Bill here. We'll just make a rotation.
Okay.
Reese, Dan. I'm going with yes. I'm a positive guy.
All right. Vicky,
I would say yes.
Randy.
Caprice sedan?
Yeah.
I'm going to say no.
All right. Cameron.
Yes.
It is 4,061 pounds. You can lemons a 96 Caprice sedan.
Winner.
How about a 96 Caprice wagon? Vicky, you got first.
If it's
I
from New
would
Jersey,
say no.
Randy.
I'm so torn. I'm going to say no.
It's a big car.
Yeah. Cameron.
I will also say no.
Bill.
well, being from New Jersey, the bodies in the back will make it way too much, so I will say no.
You're all right. Yeah, it's 44.73. To the point of Brian Davidson or Tim Clark saying stock weight. Yes, this is the stock curb weight. We know you can reduce weight. You can get waivers for a lot of this stuff. So just FYI on that. This is just by the book. And if you have anything that's over 4,200 pounds, you should email us. And, depending on what it is, we may or may not say yes. Okay? All right. So through 3 rounds, Vicky and Cameron, perfect. Well done. Next up, the Gagamobile T700. Cameron?
Oh my. I'm probably gonna say no.
All right. Randy?
I'm gonna wild card and say yeah.
Bill?
Well, since I don't even know what it is, I'm going with yes, because I want to stay on the positive side.
All right. Vicky?
I have no idea what that is, and I'm going to say yes.
All right. The Gagamobile T700 is a microcar. It is too small with a 78-inch wheelbase.
Hey.
You know,
Okay.
Cameron's 4 for 4. I'm impressed
All
for
right.
somebody who's never been to a Lemons race. Number 5, any Rolls Royce post 1945. Randy.
1945.
With monocle? or-
Absolute.
With a mom.
Oh,
The monocle puts
absolute.
it over.
Not with all that wood. That shit's heavy, man.
Yeah.
Bill?
Well, I believe that the monocle will put it over on the weight, so I'm going to have to go no.
All right. Vicky?
I would have to say no because I mean after 45, I mean they've had to get lighter along the way, but
But, I mean,
I
so
would-
it's depleted uranium, but you know it gets lighter, but it's still heavy.
I know I would say no.
Cameron?
I'm gonna say no as well.
Yeah, it's definitely not. They're all the lightest Rolls Royce I found was 5,100 pounds.
Holy cow!
If you want to bring a Rolls Royce, email us. Basically, you can very easily pull at least 600 pounds out of it without even trying. So
That's the driver's seat.
yeah, that's yeah, you're not wrong.
But if you
number
do want to bring a Rolls Royce, I would recommend the second email go to 3 Pedal Mafia, and they will
Yeah.
try to talk you out of it.
Yeah, or and then your third email goes to Darko Stojanovic
Yes.
out of Michigan, and he tells you yes. So
I can pronounce 3 Pedal. I can't pronounce his name. That's why.
He tells you yes, asterisk.
yeah, there's definitely a big asterisk on. Long story. Anyway, the 1959 Toyo Pet Crown, which was the first largely sold Toyota in the United States. Bill, you got first ups.
I believe this is a trick question, and I'm going no.
All right, Vicky.
I would have to say no.
Cameron.
I'm gonna say yes.
Randy.
We're only doing eligibility off weight and weight and wheelbase, right?
That's correct.
I'm going to say yes.
All right, the 1959 Toyo Pet is eligible, and you definitely should bring one to Lemons. Yeah.
It's not.
Why
too
you ruining classic?
That's right.
Your classic.
Yeah. The wheelbase is 100 inches. They're not actually that small.
Oh, I thought it was a trick question because I thought it was the one they replicated the rolls. That's why I thought we had 2 rolls in a row.
No, it's just a little sedan. The Honda N600. I think Vicky's first.
Ooh.
I would say no.
Cameron.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say no. I'll say no.
Randy.
I'm gonna say yes.
Bill.
Nope.
Cameron, what'd you say again?
I said no.
All right. Yeah. Cameron, you are some kind of savant for game theory. I don't know. The answer is no. The wheelbase is 78 inches. We have 2 that are racing in Lemons. They have been granted waivers, but they are 78-inch wheelbase, way short of 82. So
Yeah.
there you go. How many of these do we want to do, by the way? It's
Well,
82
we can do
inches.
this or talk about racing. So let's do this.
All right. Well, we shall continue on.
17.
2008 Dodge Caravan.
Yes.
All right. Randy?
Yeah.
Bill?
We're going united front right now. I'm going with yes.
Vicky?
I'm gonna say yes.
A 2008 Dodge Caravan weighs 4,308 pounds. It is not eligible for without a waiver.
Damn.
That's rough. Yeah, that was the first year of a redesign that made it super duper heavy.
Oh, okay.
Again, easy to throw a ton of weight out of that.
Yes.
The spare tire alone is like 5,000 pounds.
Yeah,
I know,
stow and go seating. It turns out super freaking heavy. Yeah. Next up, 2008 Dodge Journey. Randy.
Yes.
All right, Bill.
We have reached official. Who cares if it's eligible? Don't do
Yeah.
it. I will say Dodge Urinate. No. God, please say no.
Vicky.
Yeah.
All right, Cameron.
I'll say yes.
Yeah, totally. It's 3,800 pounds, and you should bring one because they're terrible cars. You can get basically a brand new car into Class C.
Yeah.
Let's see, we're at Bill, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Austin Healey 3000.
Nope. But you should bring it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Vicky.
Yeah, you could use it.
Yeah. Cameron.
Yeah.
Randy.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
That's the big Healy. You can definitely bring a big Healy to Lemons.
No.
Took a calculated risk, but boy, am I bad at math.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Austin Healey Sprite while we're here. Vicky.
No.
Cameron.
I'll say no.
Randy.
Yes.
Bill.
Well, I just can't figure out what the thing is looking at, but I am going to say yes.
Sprite is 80 inches. It is not. It cannot Lemons. It's a bummer because they're cool.
Oh, now we're just being size queens.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We have one.
Smash cut to Ed Smith's car. Yeah.
We have one available at a hangar right next to ours that obviously the person doesn't care about. So if someone wants one, email us.
Still bump drafting.
I'm looking at these two.
And keep that up. It's only going to be 8 inches.
Yeah, I mean, there's totally a. Anyway, not going to make that joke. Bristol
Self-edit.
That's right. Bristol 408. Cameron, you got first ups on that.
What is it? What is it?
Bristol 408.
Is this like a police call sign or something here?
I'm gonna say yes.
All right. Randy?
This sounds like a tractor, so no.
It's a British car. I mean, that's really what you need to know. It is mostly a tractor. Bill?
No. I'm going with no.
Vicky?
I would say yes.
Yeah, it's a totally reasonably normal sized car. You can bring a Bristol 408, and you should.
But it won't start. We know
It
that.
won't start. No, it'll run like dog do. But you can. The thing about like a Bristol or any off-brand British car, you can put whatever you want in it for a motor. We won't care.
Just change the electrical system.
Change
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Change everything is the right answer. Yeah.
Good the painless wiring.
Tremendous hat car potential, though.
Yeah, totally. Randy, you're up. 1985 Lincoln Town Car.
85.
85.
Ooh. Yes. I have to say yes.
Bill?
Not only am I going to say yes, but I'm going to say probably the ideal Lemons rally car.
Oh, that's totally true. Regardless of anything else. Yeah. Vicky?
I would say yes, because I think we have stuff that's kind of comparable already.
Cameron?
I too will say yes. I think it's light enough.
Yeah, it's 4,078 pounds. So you're all right. By the way, the score, Cameron 12, Vicky 10, Bill and Randy 5. So you guys are getting absolutely fucking smoked. So
Like a sausage. Yeah.
I'm still waiting for you to say some like crazy car that we've never heard of, and it turns
oh
out
no,
to be like
that's
a
coming.
boat.
That's absolutely coming. So it's funny that you mentioned that like that's the ideal rally car, because when Jay was going to do the very first rally, he ended up doing it as 911, which is super lame, but he was searching for like a mid 80s town car with functioning air conditioning. That was his one qualifier. There you go. It is a perfect Lemons rally car though. And to that point,
you won't score points, but you will be so.
but you will be super comfortable. Yeah. You will score points for this one, which is a 1976 Lincoln Mark IV. And Bill, you're up first.
Lincoln Mark IV.
Yep.
Wow. Well, it's definitely long enough. It's just,
Yeah.
how many dead people are in the trunk? Is this the velour one with the 8-inch thick velour, or is
It's just Mark IV from
right.
the standard catalog.
I believe the carpeting alone weighs 200 pounds, so I'm going to say no.
Okay. Vicky?
Oh my gosh. I would say no. I mean, it's a massive car.
Cameron?
I too will say no. It's a 70s luxury coupe. They're all overweight, just like the drivers.
Randy?
Well, Mark IV is half the car of the Mark VIII because fractions. So yes, quick maths.
Yep. Quick maths do not check out. Is 5,000 pounds.
Holy crap.
Wait, I need to know, do we have an approximate horsepower? Because I would so love to Sunday Cup race
150
this
horses.
Oh, could
Hold
you
on.
imagine the engine in that thing? Holy
It's
cow.
a 460. I just don't know what the horsepower rating is, but I will look
Yeah.
it up since I have the standard catalog at hand.
If the power to weight ratio is 25, I will Sunday Cup this car if I can find one. That would be hilarious.
All right. Here we go.
See all these
Engine
little Honda
data.
Fits running for the street.
I'll say it makes 185.
I know it's got to be 200-ish.
I think you're being pretty generous.
What year is it?
76.
Oh, this is gonna be awful.
Yes.
You know what? It is 202 horsepower
Oh.
at 3,800 RPM.
202 and it's 4,000 pounds. It's almost
No, it's 5,000 pounds.
Oh, 5,000. That's
5,000
perfect.
pounds, 202
It's
horses.
super close to 25 to 1.
Oh no!
Oh no, there's an accident.
Oh.
Wreck on
Oh, it's
track.
tumbleweed.
Wages are upside down.
Replay.
With God as my witness, he is broken in half.
Yes.
Oh, into the wall.
T-bone. Oh, broke away. Oh, there it is. Ooh,
Hey, Bill, I want you to write this down.
that's going to leave a mark. Yes, sir.
Write down
Oh,
1978
Mm-hmm.
Mark V. Weighs 4,567 pounds. With the 400, the base model motor makes 166 horsepower. So that, I think, is probably going to be your
It's
winner.
right there. It's
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
That's pretty close to 25 to 1. So.
I mean, if I have to put in 10 pounds of bonus weight, that's fine.
yeah, I mean, what is that in a, a 70 Mark
It's not even
V?
0.5%.
Yeah, it's fine. 79 is probably actually worse. More weight, less horsepower.
Can you imagine
Do we
that
still
on
want to play the
track?
game, or are we calling this a total? What saith the chat?
Well, I've proven my skill, so I don't need to go any further. But I'm open for anybody.
My lack of talent in this game kind of explains a lot of things about my life.
so I guess that means we're folding.
All
All right. Well, it's over then.
We will we'll call it a fold. Cameron, your winner with 13 out of 14, which is pretty freaking amazing.
That is good. And she's driving.
And she's driving at the moment. Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody give it up for Cameron in the
Thank you. I appreciate that.
in chat for Bill and Randy.
Can we verify that Randy and I added up still lost?
Oh yeah, no, you lost by 3 still. So well done.
Nice. Thanks.
I got murderized in the B-body section. Did not see that one coming.
Yeah, I thought you would be on top of
I was
that.
like,
Yeah, me too.
like one thing.
That's not the first time you've said that either.
Yeah, I will tell you the hardest 3 I had was 2012 Dodge Charger V6. Anybody want to guess?
I would say yes.
I would say yes.
Yes.
Vicky?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. But the RT,
No.
No.
yeah, you need a waiver for the V8, which weighs
It's the motor,
another,
yeah.
It weighs another 270 pounds. And the all-wheel drive is the tough one.
Ooh.
All-wheel
It's
drive
V6 only.
6.
I'm gonna say no because it probably weighs too much with the all-wheel drive.
I think you're still okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll go yes. I'll follow Bill here.
I think we've let ourselves into the hole again there, Randy. It's
It
us
is
versus Cameron.
by 36 pounds, it is okay to race an all-wheel drive Charger.
I think we've made it. I think we totaled more than Cameron now.
Hey.
It worked out. Yeah.
We had those.
There you go.
We had those. We got it. We're in.
The last one that was worth mentioning was the Triumph Spitfire.
Ooh. What year?
78, I think, was what I pulled.
Weight's not the issue.
It's wheelbase.
Well, the wheels aren't ever not flat, so they get a longer wheelbase as they go flat, right?
I think you're thinking too hard. Just say yes or no.
I'm
Really.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm with you, Cameron. I think it misses by not much, but a little bit.
The Spitfire is basically the benchmark. It's 83, so it's an inch over, but anything smaller than the Spitfire is pretty much a no. Anything bigger is in play. So there you go. So any MG that's not a midget, you can race lemons. Can't race a midget. Can't race a Fiat 850. But everything else bigger than that, you pretty much put in a lemons race. There you go.
Boy, those really trim your fields, though.
Oh, I know. Yeah, like it is.
So many.
We have had, before we put in the wheelbase rules, we had a Sprite once, and it ran about 7 laps. And I think we might have had a midget maybe once, maybe. So yeah, we're out 2 cars over 16 years of doing this. So
We have the Wolseley, though, so that's cool.
Yeah, the Wolseley. So to the point of the Mini, which we talked about earlier, most of the Minis are grandfathered in from being before the wheelbase rule that we put in. So if you race a car before we put in the wheelbase rule, we have grandfathered in, provided we take a good hard look at safety equipment. So the Minis, one of the Honda N600s, those are the one with the Saab motor is grandfathered in, and then we had another one with a S2000 motor with a carburetor on it. It's a really weird car, but is completely overbuilt in a way that we felt comfortable with. So that one's was given a waiver. So like I said, you can get waivers for stuff that's too heavy or too short, but you just need to build the car in an intelligent way. So
we'll just put a mini bumper on front of the mini bumper, and then it'll be good.
And then everything's good, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because the wheels changed, obviously, when you did that, so it's fine.
Yeah. Totally. We're at just about at the halfway distance of the race.
It doesn't feel like it.
I know. Yeah. Everybody's been probably beating themselves up. The 9-inch man. 9-inch males. Sorry.
9-inch
cars.
man.
Still hanging with each other. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, they are.
Actually.
They really do hang out together a lot. They're almost like a wingman.
Yeah. It's like Top Gun.
Didn't 3-Pedal do a theme on their solstice at New Jersey one year? It's reminiscent.
If it was, I missed it. It doesn't mean they didn't do it.
They're following each other so much. I'm thinking the ambiguously gay duo.
Oh, right. Yeah. They definitely did that.
Boy, did I pick a weird time to come back.
American males, American males, American males. Oh no! I killed Tommy. Oh.
It's Kenny.
Kenny. Okay.
Bad South Park joke.
See, now, this whole game still has me thinking, how, if I could get my hands on an SSR, how hard would that waiver be?
Well, you're driving it, right? So I mean,
Oh no.
Yeah. I don't know. How much does the SSR weigh? Remind me.
Do you want? Okay, so remember the SSR is the little 2-door trucklet thing.
Yeah.
Do we want to take guesses on how much it weighs?
Out of pulling it out of my ass, I'd say it weighs 4,600 pounds.
Any other takers?
I'm at 4150. 4150.
3,900.
So this little 2-door trucklet weighs 4,701.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. What's it made of?
Well, I have
Mostly.
I have a friend that did like a weird launch drive with them with some GM executive, and he was asking him questions, and he was like, "Wait a second, this is based on like the Trailblazer platform. How'd you make it so much heavier? Like, did you reinforce this with concrete?" And apparently the drive was quite short at that point.
Probably a good plan. It worked.
Yeah, I cannot get over how stunningly heavy those are.
I just couldn't imagine it being that heavy, so I had to come in with something. Oh, I wouldn't think it's that bad, but it is.
Inside Christian Bishop's car is doing very well.
Oh, there's a race going on.
Oh, yeah. Christian Bishop is a killer in both main lemons and late night lemons.
Ah. So he's done this. He's done this before.
Yeah, he's mainly part of the late night lemons, which is a weekly thing. For me, it's Wednesday morning at midnight. For everybody else on the West Coast, because West Coast League, it's 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. And yeah, the bishops. Let's just say all the bishops are really good at this. Here's have Kelly Bishop and Dad Theo Bishop.
We have a suggestion for the short wheelbase cars from the crowd. It's scrolled off screen, but they said any of the short cars, just make them into hat cars on a Crown Vic.
There you go. Solves all your problems.
Crown Vic solves all the problems.
Now, if you want your most hat cars per dollar, you'd get something very long and hat car 2 cars on the same frame, ass to nose.
But I think the Crown Vic, if you have a problem and your transmission gets stuck, you can just put it in reverse and do 60 and still be competitive in C.
Okay, now if we're talking about going backwards all the time, back to this whole 2 car on the same platform strategy, nobody said you had to hat car them both facing the same way. You can have one for going one way, one for going the other. It'd be like a train.
Exactly.
Well,
I think the most recent one that I remember of those was Speedy Cop's fishbowl car, the Twin Pacers. He had one going one way
that
and
was
one going the
proper.
other.
That was pretty good.
The sad part was he was still way faster than both of our cars at that race, but whatever. That's fine. We're fine. They even pit together, gentlemen.
Oh yeah, they figured this out.
Baby. I gotta do a drive through here, so.
We're gonna have to employ some strategies on these two.
Tragedies.
This is getting a little too serious, race car dude.
Instant black flag.
See,
I mean, we can't throw the competition black flag as a thing we can do, but we should let the pit stops equalize before we get to there.
Oh, we if we're going to do it, we're going to make it painful right at the end. So no problem.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, because you earned it for an hour and a half, but the final 10 seconds. Oh, sorry.
That's the voice of experience right there, isn't it?
Exactly.
You guys have won Class C in Lemons, though, have you not?
We did. We surprised the world, literally.
we shocked ourselves.
Yeah. Didn't even look until midday Sunday. Who knew?
Yeah.
I mean, we've heard this from several people that, people who had tried really hard to win a class or win a race or whatever, they ended up actually winning it when they stopped trying. Like when it was just like, let's just go have fun. And then, as it turns out, when you put less pressure on yourself, you tend to do a little better.
That's right.
We even took 2 extra driver changes because we weren't trying.
Yeah.
Wheel and pedal being put away for the night, going back to Xbox One controller for the rest of the night.
You want carpal thumble. I can't even
What was that?
It was something about a
Fumble.
thumble. I didn't realize that the thumble was going to be in my mouth.
These are Brother Grimm's outtakes.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he's writing this down as the theme along with Miles Davis's cheeks.
Yeah.
So,
Carpal tumble.
Callback.
Thumble.
Nicely done.
there's a callback from before we were even on
I know.
air. So
A pre-callback, I guess that would be.
it's funnier if we don't tell you anything else about it.
There you go.
It's like you pick up in the middle of the movie and you're supposed to figure it out. You know, just stay with us.
Yeah, it's like Memento.
Exactly.
Also a
Yeah,
great theme nobody's done to start the race from the checkered flag and work backwards. I don't know how that works, but somebody could figure that out.
We could have a Crown Vic callback now. Just that you were gone, but just don't put your mementos in your soda because they explode.
Yeah.
Right. And then you accidentally shoot Teddy, and then everybody loses.
So I'm sitting in the back of my father's brand new 1972 beige on beige Grand Prix, and he gives me a soda, and I'm sitting there, and I'm a kid at the time. I have a cert in my mouth, and I'm like, I don't want to taste certs and soda, so I'll just put the cert in the bottle of soda.
How'd that work out for you?
It wasn't beige on beige, let me tell you. When I got done with it, he was less than happy.
But you learned a valuable piece of science from that, as I
did.
would guess. Yeah.
I did, but I didn't learn enough to make the money that the people who put Mentos into soda on YouTube videos did several years later. I'm like, I got killed for this, and you made dollars.
They were wearing goggles. You weren't wearing goggles. You could have shot yourself in the eye with a Coke bottle.
It would have felt better than what happened, but yes, I could. It was a bad day in my driveway. Oh, speaking of bad days.
Yeah.
Well, should probably call you about your extended warranty.
Probably. Just put your phone number in the chat. We'll take care of that for you. Not a problem.
Please don't put your phone number in the chat.
Yeah, don't do that. 8675309.
Alex Castle with a question, by the way, asking if someone... Did you guys answer this already? I'm sorry.
We haven't.
No. All right. Would someone be allowed to make an open wheel car out of one that was not previously? Has anyone tried it? You do have to have your wheels covered. You have to have fenders over yon wheels so as not to launch somebody up and over, which happens when wheels touch wheels. So
the answer is no, and the answer is don't. No.
Please don't. Yeah.
Bad.
Cover your wheels with fenders.
No
not even on
Corvette
practice.
carts.
No. You need big arches.
No exosets. No.
No Ariel Adams.
However, if you want me to go to an HBD with you and you have an Ariel Atom, garageheroestraining@gmail.com.
You want to pull 2 lateral G? Is that what it is? Even as a passenger? Oh, did you see the pass in the grass by Tom Pyrex right there?
Ever so smooth.
It was like he meant to do that the whole time.
Bacon in the house.
What's up, bacon? That's all soggy.
Mr. Sog.
Soggy bacon.
Soggy.
Will you be going to Thompson, Mr. Sog?
Well, you're talking with Soggy over the internet. It's going to take 6 to 8 business days to get a response.
That's
Oh, I
right.
figured we had 30 minutes in the race, so he'd get back to me.
Yeah, I mean, the answer comes in 30 minutes. Or your money
Or it's
back.
free.
Yep. Or you call Ed Smith again.
No.
Ed Smith,
No?
also a
Soggy.
killer in Late Night Lemons.
All right.
Yeah, Ed Smith's a hell of an iRacer.
Soggy has space tubes now.
I hear they make medicine for that.
Yeah. Those space tubes.
It's only administered in one way, though.
45 seconds at a time.
Yes.
But it is wrapped in bacon before. But
Yummy.
Exactly.
Bacon suppositories, my favorite.
What?
Vicky came back at the wrong time now.
Yeah.
I just walk into.
Where'd that
I mean,
one come from?
that's kind of a recurring theme at any Lemons event, real or virtual. You inevitably walk into something that you immediately regret.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, our next
Indeed.
race is going to be Thompson, and we're already after us going to Grid Life and realizing how unbelievably hot it was that we need to prepare a little bit better for the next race. Because Thompson's always brutal.
Thompson's always hot, yeah, and is
And humid.
unpleasantly so, and always thunderstorms at some point that stops the race.
And I never forget when we had gone, and I always bring it up. I was driving through the paddock, and there was a guy with with just his shorts on, and he had a bar of soap, and he was just washing himself right out there in the rain.
It's gonna
Well,
be a
I mean,
dire
the good news
spring.
is that Bill finally took a shower. So.
That's right.
I mean, with those excellent shower situation at Thompson, can you blame him, really?
There is that, yeah. Was it? It must have been. I'm blanking on his name. The Lementarians guy.
It was the Lementarians.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of it.
Yep. God, I'm blanking on his name, and it's gonna bother me.
And it was classic.
It
I
was.
was-
The Lementarians, one of the great Lemons groups of people you would not meet anywhere else, outside of prison, probably.
Yeah.
Halfton is his name.
Yes.
Good old Halfton.
Vermin.
Yeah, Vermin Supreme, Vermin 2.0. Yes, well spotted, Soggy.
Wow, that was quick too, Soggy.
Yeah.
Very, very nicely done.
Also the Duke of New York, occasionally when he wants to be. So good people. Yeah, and that is extremely the kind of thing you see at Thompson. Even a weird atmosphere for Lemons is Thompson.
See, their car was why I got several of them wrong on your quiz. I'm just,
Right.
Right,
Their
excellent.
Fleetwood is a
Service buttons.
mid 80s one, which is actually, the cars from the 80s are a lot smaller than you think they are. They're at least lighter, probably because they don't have a ton of crash structure.
not when you're trying to pass it though. Speaking
It
of
is a
experience.
big car for Lemons, I will say that. Yeah, that car is not slow and not small. Their
Through a
car.
turn, it's like all the turn.
Yeah, no, they tend to. That car is sideways more often than it isn't, but always kind of controlled anyway.
And fantastic doing it. I'm just saying sometimes you're like, I just can't get around you.
Yeah. There's that. Well, I mean, that's a good transition. What cars are you racing now? You have the Civic. What else is in the fleet?
Well, we have the Civic. It's our base Lemons car, and then we are looking forward to bringing a Honda Fit to the Lemons paddock. shortly.
Excellent.
And
There's the Lementarians Fleetwood, by the way.
exactly.
Lementarian.
It's hard to see. I took this picture, but it was at the end of the day, end of Sunday at New Hampshire, and they were on the transition up to the bowl out of the oval. They were four-wheel drifting this section every single time they came around, which is kind of their want. Also, the last time they leave the pit lane, Halfton usually rips a gigantic burnout for as long as the car will do it down the pit lane.
And buries Dale in the cloud, and Dale tickled. So it's fantastic.
Well, I mean, that's your podcast, by the way. That is your 400 level podcast, is Dale and Halfton hanging out, talking about racing. Rare mistake there, by the way, by Christian Bishop trying to get on pit road. I don't know if I quite saw that right, but might cost him a little bit there, which is as much as I feel like I should talk about racing at all.
Yeah, well, we've done that for now, so we're good.
Yeah. So spin in front of him,
Oh.
and he ended up on pit road. Perhaps. Nope. He was supposed to be on pit road because Ed Smith flashed in front of him on the way in. So there you go.
Not that we're rooting for bad driving, but it is more fun.
No.
It's more fun. Yeah. No, you're 100% correct.
I'm doing a stop and go for unsafe pit exit. Yeehaw.
Awesome. Eric, is there any way to put in like a loop-de-loop or a jump into this race just to add some fun to the last 20 minutes?
Only at the Irwindale figure eight. Yeah, they've got the jump
Oh yeah,
in there,
figure eight jump,
which is
yeah,
great.
that's fun.
When we do the figure eight racing, that is a favorite of ours. Also, Laguna Seca with the Pro 2 trucks and all of the everything turned off, so you can use the whole runoff area as the line. That's spectacular.
So I was listening to a podcast today, and I learned that at a figure eight track, the car to the right, as you're approaching, the car to the right has the right of way. And if the car is to the left of you, you have to give the right of way. Who knew? Had no idea.
What do you think a driver's meeting is like for a figure eight race? Like, do you think anybody actually cares or pays attention?
Do you think anybody's not drunk? No.
There'd have to be like there'd have to be a Narcan instructional partway through, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I watched I was party to a driver's meeting at an oval race once, and it was like it was just a guy talking to himself basically.
Wow.
And, everybody else was just like, yeah, whatever, man. And then it was kind of all bets were off after that. Totally different world than what we're used to as we watch an oval race.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, the nice thing was they assumed that the people who were driving in the race knew right and left, so that was impressive.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you can't read, at least you know that you know the letter L, and you know that your left hand makes the L if you put your thumb out. So,
Yep, there you go.
I know how to put my shoes on and tie them just right.
you do have to run an automatic then, so that you can hold your hand up in front of you while you're racing and not have to shift.
Hey,
there's
that hand. I'll run an automatic just because I can drink my Miller Lite while doing figure eights. Yeehaw.
I mean, there is, man, one of the greatest articles that Judge Phil ever wrote was the basic template for DUI telepresence racing using Crown Vics. And it's an old school Jalopnik article. You should go find that and read it. It's one of the greatest things he ever wrote. And, it was like there was a minimum ABV content I'm sorry, not ABV, BAC of 0.2, I think it was, for you to participate. And then you basically did iRacing, but you had a real car that you were controlling in real life on a real racetrack. And so did everybody else in the field. Kind of brilliant. The technology exists now to make it so.
You ready for a Judge Phil story that only like 200 people in the world know?
I'm always ready for Judge Phil stories. They're the kind of the best stories.
So we have him on the podcast, and he's being very like quiet and not Judge Phil like. And like 45 minutes into the podcast, he realizes that we haven't been using his real name. We've been calling him Judge Phil.
Right.
And we're a Lemons team.
Yep.
And he had not a clue for the first 45 minutes of the interview. Not any idea. He's thinking that he's talking like as an automotive journalist. And
general audience. Yeah. I have heard this interview. It is one of my favorite things. Because there's just like this moment of realization, like, oh, you guys are a Lemons team, huh? And like, oh yeah. You have had the most genuine Phil Graydon experience in the world, I think.
It's tremendous.
That is.
It is so funny. I was dying once we stopped recording. I could not stop laughing.
Yeah, no, I definitely listened to that and sent it to Nick, and Nick was like, "Yep, that's it. That's That is the Judge Phil experience right there.
You know when you get exactly what you could have hoped for, but never knew what it was.
Yeah.
That was that episode. Fantastic.
Yeah, Phil obviously has cut back his amount of Lemon's employment as he's taken on other things in his life, and travel, I think, has kind of made him. He's just weary of travel. But when I started working for Lemons, and Phil was the guy who drove me into it. There would be these wonderful moments during BS inspection where, somebody would have ended up in Lemons somehow and, hadn't read anything, didn't know anything other than the basics. And this guy is talking to them about their car, and it's, oh, this is a great Camaro. It reminds me of how when Khrushchev gave this speech in 1973, and like these people would be like, what is happening? Like, what is this guy talking about? Like, I thought this was the car thing. And, they would kind of look over at me like for an explanation. I would just kind of shrug like, yeah, this is it. And, they would either be like, all right, this is the greatest thing ever, or I don't know what happens now. I don't know anything about what happens now.
I don't know how to segue
everything.
this thing.
Yeah, it was just the reactions were on a level that you could never explain to anybody. Like, it's just, you have these conversations with this guy from, for all you know, he's from Mercury, and and he's talking about God knows what, and somehow it relates to cars, but you don't know how. It's so great.
Shout out to Mooney Bun, who just followed me. Thank you for following me on my chat and my Twitch channel. Appreciate that.
As everybody should.
Yes. Currently, it's twitch.tv/Lady J Cameron because.
Oh, look at the save! Almost.
Almost.
Oh.
That was impressive. Mostly.
Back out for another 8 laps or however much fuel I got in the Gen 6.
Should point out, by the way, now that we're 2 hours and a half into this, that if you want to participate, you can go to isuckatracing.com and sign up for the Lemons iRacing League. It's pretty basic how it's laid out there. Just email us, tell us you want in on this, we'll get you in. If you want in on Meat Space Lemons, you can go to 24hoursoflemons.com. There's all kinds of information there. And if you just want to show up to a race, we have several coming up before our next scheduled iRacing. Give me 2 seconds and I will fetch my calendar.
Thompson in 2 weeks. I know that.
That is right. So coming up August 5th, 6th, and 7th is Lemons at Thompson. That's the GP Dew Lake Chargagagog Manchagagog Chowbunagungumog. Easier said than done.
Oh, he said it.
I had Rich Von Snydern taught me how to say it, and I picked it up pretty quick. You got to break it into 3 pieces. It is Chargagagog
Manchagagagog
Chowbunagungumog. There you go.
Chargagagog Manchagagagog Chowbunagungumog.
Yeah, that is as good as anybody's ever said it. Right
Are we summoning Cthulhu right now?
More or
He's
less.
already here. Sagi's on the chat.
Yeah, that's true. August 4th through 7th, we have our next Lemons Rally. That is the Hell on Wheels California Rally out of San Luis Obispo. The stops are San Luis Obispo, Sacramento, Altaras, which is way up in the northeast corner, back down to Santa Rosa, and then finishing back in San Luis Obispo. And August 12th, 13th, and 14th is the Doing Time and Joliet race at Audubon Country Club. I will be there personally. That's going to be a great race. Our next iRacing event is August 21st. If I couldn't tell you what the format is or where it is, it doesn't really matter. We'll be here talking about anything but the actual iRacing. So that is everything coming up on our schedule. And like I said, I Suck at Racing if you want in on this. That's all of the plugs that I have. So there you go.
Does anybody from Autobahn listen to these?
No, absolutely
good.
not.
So I can't understand why a track that nice and a place that nice lets us go there. But if they still let us in, you should definitely go to that one. That's a nice track.
Yeah, Mike Gritter is the general manager there. He's done race control for us at several races. He's done Road Atlanta, Gingerman, one or two others. Just a really, really good guy who gets what we're doing. Autobahn, they kind of invented the country club model around the same time as Monticello, but unlike Monticello, they don't have enough. I mean, New York City and the area around that is the only kind of place that can sustain a place like Monticello. Chicago being, the third biggest metropolitan area in the United States. They can't do it. They know they need to rent the track, and they did a really clever thing by building 2 tracks and being able to keep one for their members at all times, the people who pay to be, store their cars there, and then they rent out the other track, at least on the weekends, if not, having events here and there and pro teams testing. But with that in mind, they let us. My very first race was at Autobahn in 2010,
Really?
and
Wow.
it's a really nice facility. They take care of the place. They know what they're doing. They have probably the best flaggers of any place we go to.
And the electronic ones are fantastic.
Yeah, everything they do there, they're just on top of it. Is such a great race to go to, such a great facility to go to, and they're happy to have Lemons. And there's members there who build a Lemons car or whatever, and it's just a thing for them to go goof around and do without worrying too much about the car getting torn up or breaking it. They break the car because they're country club members. And then, and it's like, all right, cool. We'll just hang out. That, it's just such a good atmosphere. And all the Midwest races are kind of like that.
It is. Definitely fun.
Yeah, no, I do love Autobahn. I love the area around there because it's like weird industrial area on the fringe of Chicago.
Yes. I haven't tried the go-kart track there yet, though, but it looks like it's fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's a miniature version of the full course, which they almost never run. Sagi does point out there, toilet paper, not A+.
No, it's not.
He's correct. Yeah.
It's got a high friction surface.
But the toilets are clean,
Yes,
and
they're
you'll
spotless.
take them for it. Yeah.
And if you need to, polish your car or sand any minor imperfections, it works wonderful.
That's true. Yeah. It's multi-purpose.
And don't worry, if you get it wet, it doesn't absorb anything, so it's fine.
Well, that's a good question for you guys, by the way, not the toilet paper.
What's your
I mean,
favorite toilet paper?
The segue was going to be tough on that one, Eric. but,
Well, I mean, it can play a part, but what is your guys' favorite track that you've been to? You've been to at least 7 or 8 of them at this point with Lemons and with other sanctioning bodies and stuff. What do you guys like? What is your favorite track?
Miss Vicky, you want to go?
Pitt.
Yeah.
Pitt is the favorite. I think it has enough complexity, distance, and
Jab there for the 1 and the 2 car. Yeah.
and of course, running off if there's any issues, then it's pretty safe to not really get too much damage. But it's a great track. Facilities are awesome.
Yeah. This year was my first time being there. I was floored by the facilities.
So because I live on the bottom of the hill from Pit Race, on more than one occasion, I have
still our
gone up
favorite.
there just to go in and get a shower there because their facilities are nicer than
Oh,
like
jeez.
home.
It's a great place.
Yep.
What
There's
about
a great-
yours?
Me? Or Bish? I like Pit Race. It's been my favorite. There's some other tracks that are close to it. Like I like Mid Ohio as well. That's a nice one. Gingerman's fun if you really just want to like I wouldn't say at a Lemons race you would do it, but if you want to push yourself a little bit, Gingerman's probably one of the safest tracks you could ever push yourself and go towards your limit, because you almost can't hit anything. There's only one spot on the track where you can actually physically hit anything, and it's one of the safest tracks we've gone to. But if I'm going to go for the fun, I like the pit race because it's got a variety of turns. It's nice and long. It's got a good flow to it. The topography of the area has some hills. It's challenging.
A little bit of everything.
Slow car, fast car challenge. It's not the fastest track you'll be on, but I think for a one stop, give me everything you got. It's got almost everything there.
If Pit Race can figure out their Snack Shack game, it'd be number one across the board.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Nope. Pit Race's problem, the biggest problem I have, and I'm trying to talk to them, is their idea of test day Friday is horrible.
Why?
Did they do that 20-minute session deal?
20-minute sessions, 3 different groups.
Yeah, okay, that one is also real. I mean, you're talking, my team doesn't practice, you know this.
No, but I mean,
practice.
When we had a new car that was new to the team, and we were switching from a rear-wheel drive to a front-wheel drive, we would have loved to go to practice. But the odds on a Lemons car being ready to roll at a certain predetermined time throughout the day, tossing in BS tech inspection, you get out there like twice, maybe, and that's just not worth it.
And it's not particularly cheap.
No, it's not cheap, and you don't get to drive in it. But beyond that, it's fantastic. Yeah, Thompson has it right. They also let you have passengers too, so Thompson's got the best practice, I think, on Fridays.
Fair. Those are all excellent points. Saki pointing out Barber. Barber's like the better version of Pit, but it's also far from a lot of people.
Not close.
Especially if you're from New Jersey, it's definitely not close.
No. It's on the list. We're going to hit Barber soon. It's just...
if you can, go to Barber with 1, maybe even 2 extra days and go to the museum and just spend some time there. I've only ever been to the museum once, and I had about 90 minutes. So I just kind of got the glossing over of everything that's there. And I was just floored the entire time. So if you can go there and get like the whole tour and then, just saunter around for another day, there's so much to look at. And I'm not a motorcycle guy, and it's like 2/3 motorcycles, but everything in the museum runs, and it's all impeccable in its shape and interesting. I didn't ever think of motorcycles as especially interesting until I went there. I get it. I kind of get it. So
it's motorcycles and low tie, right?
Yeah, I think they have one of every Lotus, at least, of the major models. Like, they don't have like the Lotus 18, that was a short run F1 car or whatever, F3 car. But they've got the big ones. They've got like the Lotus 19, Lotus 23. They've got an 8. All the really, quote unquote important low tie. They have those, and they're all in British racing green, and they're all in incredible shape. They've got some 917s and other Porsches too, if that's your thing. But cannot recommend that enough. And there's good barbecue nearby also. And we found a good Mexican restaurant actually in Leeds last time we were there. And I will look that up if you want to know it next time you go to Barber. So
sure. Well, speaking of Pit Race, Randy, what's the name of the Italian restaurant downtown? I think it's Vinny's or Vince's. You know which one that is? Over by the car dealerships.
Yeah. You're talking right on Main Drag, and that was. Yeah. I think it is Vinny's, something like that.
Vinny's or Vince's, highly recommended. Haven't had a bad thing there.
Somebody said the Pittsburgh. There's a wings place just north of there, like 15 minutes. That's supposed to be the
and a donut place too is the other thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Orem's. Yeah, Orem's is a little bit south in Beaver Falls, but Orem's has patented the process of putting crack in cinnamon rolls. So highly recommend.
Smoke a bowl of cinnamon rolls today.
I mean, that is honestly my favorite part of going to a race to work is like finding some really good hole in the wall place to have a dinner that is out of this world that you didn't think would be anything special.
Exactly.
That kind of stuff, that never gets old. At New Jersey, we discovered that the airport has a diner that does breakfast.
It does.
And it's amazing. It is spectacular. Cannot recommend it enough. And I had scrapple there, which I'd never had. Kind of okay.
If you take out the S and the PL at the end, you know what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, Eric, how many places have you traveled to? I mean, what is your region that you travel through? How do you operate within Lemons?
Well, I'm one of the handful of full-timers, so I get sent all over, but we have a kind of a glut of people on the West Coast and in Colorado, so I've never actually been to High Plains.
Oh, wow. That'd be a fun one.
Yeah, no, it's one that's on my list that I just need to make to go to.
Phil's home track, right?
Phil's home track, and we have Aaron Cole, who's Denver-based, who's there now. But for the most part, I go to all the Midwest races. I did not go to the last Gingerman races. I was getting married in Pittsburgh. But anywhere within about 6 to 8 hours of Chicago, I'll go to. So I'm going to Kentucky in September. Went to Pittsburgh. Audubon, Gingerman. If we go to Road America again, I'll be there. Don't know about that yet. We're kicking around some ideas for the Great Plains that I might end up at. When we did Topeka, I went there. But also, I fly out to the East Coast and Southern races. I do Barber every year. I've done Road Atlanta every year.
Does it snow every year then?
It snowed at least half the time in Atlanta, which it's never.
That's crazy.
It is ungood. Although I will say the first year I might have spent slightly too much time at the Claremont Lounge the night before, and the ridiculous cold was a saving grace to keep me from yakking all over people's cars during BS inspections. So.
Yeah, we'd like to go there when it's not snowing once. Just to see.
Yeah, fingers crossed we can. I mean, it's a roll with dice, but Road Atlanta's fun. It's a different kind of track for Lemons. It's probably at the very far end of the difficulty spectrum, as far as real racing tracks.
Yeah.
I've done all the East Coast tracks also in the last 2 years. I've done Thompson, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, CMP, all that. So.
We have a bribe for you at Thompson. Unfortunately, you're not going to be there. But.
I will not be there. You can give it to Aaron Cole, who will be there, because he's going to be at Audubon the following weekend. So he should be able to act as the messenger, or Kim. Kim should be there too. Our faithful manager of the Scrodium, Kim Harmon.
Well, of those two choices, we will be giving it to Aaron.
Yeah. I see. It's that good. I see. I understand. Well, now I'm slightly worried, but
no, don't worry.
I don't know.
It'll be fine. It's
you can't do. I mean, the
Fine.
best / worst bribe I ever got was 3 cans of SpaghettiOs loose in Walmart bags. So I mean, as long as you're not doing that, you can't really set the bar any lower.
Nope, you're fine.
So, now that you brought that up, what have been some of the most memorable bribes?
Well, the SpaghettiOs guys have stuck with us because they also they doubled down with
luggage, right?
Luggage full of SpaghettiOs. That was in the ballpark. Super weird guys. I mean, they put a Cadillac V8 in a Miata. I don't know. You really need to know more about it than that.
I remember Pit 19, somebody grabbed the wrong box, and instead of their bribe, they just had like 3 dozen used doorknobs.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
That was Tom. That was Tom Myers with the glue sticks. Yeah.
And then Greg Bethel used it on his own car.
Yep, that's right.
That's A+ work. Oh man, I had a thought in there and it just vanished.
We got to get rid of those. That's our job here.
Yeah. Man, good bribes.
Still thinking. Is there a white whale of bribes that?
We determined that the white whale of bribes would be all of the intellectual property of Studebaker, which is for sale.
Oh yeah, that was last iRacing broadcast, wasn't it?
Yep. Oh yeah, it's been living rent free in my mind.
Yeah. All right. Good. Yeah. Gifting Jay all of Studebaker's intellectual property is the greatest bribe that's out there waiting for somebody, because it's the last thing that he effing wants. So bribing him with it is the great white whale.
It's the key to good bribes, though, is to be the last thing the judge wants. But then
Yeah. I mean, well, there's an element of surprise to it.
Sure.
Ed Smith with the 9-inch mail about to win the race here.
Yeah.
There it is. The race is done. The
we go.
winners are coming in.
What about a bunch of Kinder surprise eggs? I mean, that's a great penalty, actually, waiting to happen. So
I have a penalty.
your real winner,
Fireworks.
Kevin Mobes, by the way, in 12th place.
Hey, way to go,
fixed it.
Kevin.
So there you go.
Nice job, Kevin. Congratulations, you are the honorary winner. And do we still have the?
Yep, the Crash Fest, as he just
Okay.
yeets somebody, looked like Ron Harrington, sent into low Earth orbit there.
Oh,
Yep, everybody gets themselves Mustanged here at the end of the Dead Horse Beaters, as you do.
Excellent. This is fantastic. This is where we lost Deadpool, actually, on this track itself.
Yeah. F's in chat for GHIT's Deadpool car.
Yes.
And Sweet Tarts, F's in chat for your taste buds.
Yep. And F's in chat for me and Cooters.
Oh, Ron was about to eat it right there.
He was aimed so nicely.
Yep.
I am the winner of the $25 DoorDash gift card. This is for Monday Night Racing for coming in last.
yeah.
There you go. Actually, Nate showing as 24th. I guess we got
24.
a couple late
Oh.
entries. There you
Okay.
go.
So 23 would be second place then.
We'll call him honorary second place.
Second
All
place.
right.
23rd, who's probably been yeeted out of the server long ago.
That's fine.
But, you know, you do what
We
you
don't
can.
do it for them.
That's right. This is a self-serving exercise.
That's right. I mean, if we cared about the race, we would have probably talked about it.
Oh, Aaron Lineman, 23rd. Friend of E1R and GHIT. There you go.
Exactly. Yes, and the correct way to say it is not get like mental. It's G-hit.
E-hit? Yeah.
G-hit.
Usually what I say, but I just want to,
It's okay.
yeah. That
For
way
those
people
who
can
can't
find
spell.
it if I spell it. Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you guys so much for being here, Bill and Vicky Fisher of G-Hit Garage Heroes in Training. Thank you guys for jumping in and talking everybody's ears off. It's much appreciated.
Well, everybody knows if they listen to the podcast, we can babble on about nothing for as long as you want us to. So anytime you need anything.
All right, one more time, where can we find Garage Heroes in Training?
Our podcast is available on any of the various podcast sources. Could be Apple, could be Google, could be Stitcher, any of them. And if you need to get to us, it would be garageheroesintraining@gmail.com, or our website is creatively garageheroesintraining.com. So it's easy.
On all the things.
So is this the awkward moment where we realize there's another race?
Oh, is there
Yeah.
another race?
I can't get
Is
in there
there?
because registration is closed.
I was
There's only one
following
car.
Eric's lead. I thought there was
Oh.
one more.
Yeah, there's an after-party race. Are we sticking around for that?
Doesn't matter to me.
Okay, I guess
Well, I'd
we're
like to
sticking around
join the
for it.
after party, but
All
again,
right,
there's
cool.
only one car.
Apparently,
Let's go for
apparently there's
more.
Apparently, there's only one car in it.
Yeah.
Well, I know who's going to win.
Yeah, let's go. My right.
Well, we're already pushing 11 p.m. Eastern. I know you guys have
Make a
real
good
jobs, so I will let you guys move on. If the after party pushes on, it'll be a party unto itself. and probably not fit for broadcast anyway. So,
Yeah, we have
everybody-
high standards, damn it.
that's right. Ryan has brought us yet another gorgeous, stunning vista of terrible driving. Can't thank you enough for that, Ryan Bauer.
There you go.
Great job.
All right. For Cameron Albernon, for Randy Bish, for Ryan Bauer, for the Garage Heroes in Training, I'm Eric Rude with the Lemons iRacing League. We will see you on August 21st for the next one of these. And have yourselves a good Sunday night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Night.
Bye.